All right, we back. Another episode of that Dirt Under Your Nails music. Me and my man Banks over here.
You already know what it is, man. I ain't got no dirt under my nails right now. They clean as hell, just like my forehead.
All right, so where you want to take it first? You want to straight go into this topic that I got, or you want to talk about some sports?
Hey, man, that's low key. Another reason why I don't mind recording right now, even though I want to shut the hell up. But I don't mind recording right now just because these blowout games is ridiculous. Pause.
Man, my team we done got blown out. We was winning and lost the lead. We took it back home and gave up the third quarter.
Who your team?
The Mavericks.
That's unfortunate. That's all I can
Right
say.
now, right now it is. Luka
Listen.
can't do it by himself, man.
But that's what people been saying. They don't have a second option. It's just always get a ball to Luca and let him put up 30 or 40 like he did yesterday. Get us 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Like Reggie Bullock went 0 for everything.
He put up 30. Well, he put up. I think he put up 30 yesterday.
Not
No, no,
Reggie.
not Reggie, but Brunson. Brunson put up 30 yesterday. Yeah, Bullet. That's that's all we've been. That's the only support he's been having is Brunson and Dinwiddie.
Hmm.
Like if Maxi Cleaver could put up some points, if he could have just gave us 10, look at this nigga.
Oh yeah, he definitely want to talk about basketball now. So my son hit me on Friday. I passed the hell out. You feel me? Thinking like the Mavs was gonna win that game. So I fell asleep. I do the old man thing, like I'll be sleep or the Undertaker thing. I'll be sleeping, then I'll wake up from a text message. So I woke up and then I seen him talking analytical basketball. I'm half asleep. That's how I know I talk too much or I podcast too much. Cause I low key was just like, oh no, I started getting straight into it, waking up from the text message, and we was talking basketball. So
Nah, he might have got killed in the paint during. Oh, game two. Yeah. We did. Like game two, it was up, and then it was like after halftime. That's when they just started turning it on, and it was they just couldn't make no stops. Like they can put up points with them. It's just if you're not making no stops, then it defeats the purpose.
facts. Cause the thing is, the Golden State Warriors have perfected the small balls. They perfected that game. You feel me? But the thing is, what's his name? I always forget they center. Dude that looked like Herman Monster. What's his name? On the Golden State Warriors?
Oh man,
Hold on, let me look him up. I can't believe I
man,
can't remember son name. He been out there playing like Shaq.
man.
Let me see. Hold on. And I thought I knew his name. Hold
Was
on. Get it
was
right now.
was was David's favorite quote? We got cooked.
We got good. My son. Oh,
Oh,
Kevon
Looney,
Looney.
Looney. Yeah.
Yeah. He looked like Herman Monster.
He do
You
look like Herman Mustard.
ready? Yeah, that's what he looked like. I forgot he went to UCLA. Shouts out to him.
Man, that used to be my show back in the day.
Back in the day, bro, we the same age.
Nah, back when it used to come on Nick at Night,
Oh,
the
facts.
mustard.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Facts.
man.
Cause didn't the George Lopez show used to come on there too?
Hmm.
I remember the low ride, get a little higher. Yo, he
I used to
foul.
I used to watch that show and it used to be funny. Then like later on watching his stand ups, like, yo, he get crazy.
Oh no, his stand up's funny as hell. Cause it's very
Yeah,
accurate. That's why too.
that's a fact.
So
But
oh, you put
oh
the
boy,
TikTok down there too? Shouts out to you.
uh, everything, man.
Hey man, if y'all want to follow me on TikTok, all y'all that's listening here at Body Moreville, hey, follow me on TikTok. If you cool, I'll put you onto the real TikTok. You feel me? The one me and somebody I can't name, not Zell, you feel me, but somebody that's affiliated with all of us. You feel me? He's a big fan of the TikTok. He be sending me all of them. I'm like, bro, don't you? You know what I mean? You got a situation, but it ain't Eth
it, don't-
either. So,
it don't hurt to look, man.
but he be looking like a motherfucker. I ain't talking about Eth either. He be looking like a. He be. I'm like, damn, bro, hold on. I saw you.
Hey, man. Sometimes you gotta enjoy the fruits of life.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's something you can do is look on TikTok. So if they putting it there for everybody to see, you might as well enjoy along with everybody else.
son, but they own there on there. That's all I keep telling Davis. Like they own there.
This guy finished the minutes. Makes it
Ben,
apparent, folks.
Ben, first of all, let me say this. Ben is top 3 podcasters in the business today.
Nah, yeah,
Like hands down. Like if you could do a podcast by yourself, like I've done it before, it ain't as easy as people make it out to be. Ben makes it seem very easy, yo.
flawless. Like he just seamlessly go from topic to topic, segment to segment. He got the voice for it. I don't know how he do it.
Facts. He up here eating Mexican pizza. Him and his man was chomping on it. I said, yo, but they don't know about the Mexican pizza, so I'm glad he put people on to it. That's like one of the lost. Like I don't eat fast food, but I love Taco Bell. That's like one of the lost like items on the menu.
I never had it.
They
I
ain't
didn't
got no
even know it
Mexican
existed.
pizza. They ain't got no
I
Taco
ain't
Bells
never
out
had
there.
one. Yeah, yeah, but I ain't never went to Taco Bell asking for a Mexican pizza. I just thought it popped up. Then I found out like, oh, it used to be an item, and then I heard Vin review it.
It's like I don't think they hide it, but they don't talk about it enough. So I think you got to go to like the little spec. You know, if you go inside, you can order online without actually. You feel me? Like I don't go to the register. I actually just order online, like not online on my phone. I don't need it that once. Like I'll go to a little kiosk and order food.
Mm,
So it's like on there. I think it's like in the side item column or something like that. But like I don't like fast food, but Taco Bell is my favorite fast food.
I get the same thing from Taco Bell every time, man. Soft steak tacos and Doritos Locos tacos.
Hey, I think I
Oh,
had that Doritos, the chicken one though, because I took out the beef balls and I substituted with chicken.
that sound like fire.
So, but yo, you know, with Taco Bell, it get cold fast, like in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta eat that junk quick.
That's the only reason why I don't be liking like to eat Taco Bell if I know I got a 30-minute drive, because bro, it don't stay hot. I never had Taco Bell that stayed hot.
And it ain't the same because if you let it sit, then the bottom, if you got a hard taco, the bottom of that drink get all soggy and it falling apart. But Vin also put me onto the cornbread donut from Dunkin' Donuts. It sounds like the most nigga shit ever, but it's delicious, man.
Yo, Peeps, shouts out to Peeps. She put that on her TikTok. She was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
about to see, because she said something along the lines that you said. She was like, I'm about to test it out. I said it looked fire, but I told her I can't eat no sweets right now. Bro, I gotta go to the dentist. Yesterday I was going through it.
Man, I was listening to Random Acts,
Mm.
and I don't know what you was drinking on there, but you was like, every time I drink it, my teeth hurt.
Oh, that's why my teeth probably hurt. It's this drink from the Dollar Tree. Yo, it was just like it said Ace 6 on it. I have no idea what Ace 6 is, but I instantly stopped drinking. Cause I said, yo, Ace 6 do not sound safe. Let me stop drinking this. Bro, my tooth been hurting since then.
How much of it did you drink before you realized that A6 was in it?
Oh, I was snapping. I still don't know what A6 in. I'm scared to look. I'm like, yo, did they put rat poison in this drink?
It was like What you drinking? Motor oil over there? You stopped drinking that antifreeze. And you was like, man, every time I drink it, my teeth hurt.
Thanks. So I was like, bro, maybe that's why my teeth was hurting because I was drinking that, bro. Because it's just like pure blue liquid. There's no telling what that stuff was.
That wasn't that Donald Duck juice, man.
Right, facts. But he know about that, bro. If you ever had the Donald Duck juice, bro, with the pulp in it, that shit for sure be having your teeth hurt. But it'd be fire. That's the best orange juice I ever had.
Donald Duck definitely be hitting. I can't lie.
Like,
What
bro,
else
that hit the Tampico. I don't know if y'all got Tampico out there.
I ain't had Tampico in a minute.
That should give you instant diabetes.
Nah, that's them calypsos, them calypso lemonades. That's
Oh
diabetes in
yeah.
a bottle, but they so banging, man. I just can't stop drinking them.
Yo, I never see nobody drink those. That's why I don't drink them.
I drink them drinks all the time. But like y'all got Royal Farms down there.
Mm-mm. Let me see.
Royal Farms is like it's like some of them is gas stations too, but it's like kind of like with a Wawa. Y'all got Wawa.
Yeah.
It's like Wawa kind of, but like they specialize in chicken. Like for their food, they
Mm-hmm.
got like some good chicken over there. But like it's basically like that. You gotta either go there to get them, or you gotta go to like the corner store in the hood. You can't find it like out in the county in the suburbs or something, unless it's like a Royal Farms. Otherwise, you gotta go to the hood to get them. Man, them calypsos be banging, but it's diabetes in the glass for real.
Yeah, Royal Farms only out there. Bro, they got a whole Chick-fil-A out this motherfucker.
Y'all ain't got Chick-fil-A's down there?
No, we do. Chick-fil-A everywhere, but no, this Royal Farms, y'all
Oh
got
yeah,
like it's like a spread of like Chick-fil-A type food, like chicken
yeah,
sandwiches
yeah.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, you get chicken sandwiches, you get burgers, but they got like chicken breast, chicken thigh. I mean not chicken thighs, chicken legs. They might got thighs too. I don't know. They
Yeah, they
got
got all
tenders.
that.
I go in there and just get the tenders all the time. They
Yeah,
make
two
you a
thousand seven
sandwich.
forty nine, bro. Like all this under $10 too. That's the thing.
Now that shit can get hot though, cause I go in there and get like 10 tenders at like $30.
Hey,
Like
that's that
damn,
pigeon meat.
they can't. Now that gotta be some official chicken. They must be getting that chicken straight from the farm and chopping it up in the back or something for it to be so high. Why is it $3 a tender for one chicken? Like you
You ain't never
feel
been to
me?
Popeyes? The prices on Popeyes went up.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I feel
Oh,
like I can get 10 tenders for less than $30 at Popeyes.
I don't know. Popeyes going up. I know somebody spent $50 at Popeyes and they only got two things.
That's crazy. $60 at Popeyes is insane.
Everything going up, son. Popeyes about to be the chicken sandwich they give you. You know what I mean? That you might have to get a bypass if you eat that.
That chicken sandwich ain't the same neither, man. That
It's
first
still.
chicken sandwiches, yeah, when niggas was standing in line for the chicken sandwiches, or you go to the drive-through and it be all the way out to the street,
Mm-hmm.
that chicken sandwich was crack. Now I don't know what they put in there now.
No,
It can't be the same chicken.
that's meth. It's definitely stepped on work, bro. Because I remember that I was talking to somebody about that the other day. He was like, "Yo, remember everybody who was around the corner for the chicken sandwiches?" And then a year later, you feel me, the feel me happen. You feel me? So that probably caused the joint to come out. But I'm saying though, I never forget y'all people that was out there standing around the corner for no chicken sandwich, bruh. I'll never forgive you,
A nigga got stabbed for the chicken sandwich, man.
bro.
That's
I think somebody
crazy.
got shot at for a chicken sandwich.
That's the most nigga shit. That's more nigga shit than the cornbread donut, man. Like a chicken sandwich, my man. My brother
Yo,
in Christ. It's a chicken sandwich. You gonna bring bodily harm to another brother for over a chicken sandwich?
Facts, like imagine you get to heaven's gate, St. Peter be like, what you here for? State your name, gangster. Oh, I see in the book, you feel me? You was out here stealing money from your mom. You was out here stabbing people. Wait, that was cool. But you stabbing people for a chicken sandwich? Oh no, get your ass in the elevator down below.
You died over a chicken sandwich, my man.
Like the person that died and can't get into heaven for a chicken sandwich. Yeah, I understand that too. Cause you shouldn't been standing in line, bruh. It's alternatives. I said Chick-fil-A earlier. You feel me? You can go to the spot he mentioned, the farm, fresh farm and all them. Or whatever Royal Farm. You can go
Royal
there.
Farm.
You can go there. You can go, don't go to Burger King and get nothing, let alone a chicken sandwich. You can
You
go a
die
lot of
for
places to get a chicken sandwich. I ain't dying for no Popeye chicken sandwich.
you die for a chicken sandwich. Who man's is this?
But this was my first year having one. Like I had one in January. I haven't had chicken since then. That shit had me sick, bro. I was recording. I'll never forget that. I ate that sandwich and some. I was like, you know how something just tell you the universe or whatever, tell you something wrong. I was eating that sandwich. I said, all right, something is wrong with the sandwich, bro. I didn't feel right instantly. I was sick all day, bro. We had to record, bro. I was rocking back and forth like Big Foley doing the promo with JR. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. I was out there like, bro, about to start. I ain't got no hair. I'm about to start taking my hair out. I said, bro, I'll never eat chicken. That scared me since. I ain't had a piece of chicken since January 16th.
You know the date. That's crazy.
Oh, I always know dates. I'm Professor. It's the reason why I'm bald. I'm Professor X.
Man, I've been killing brain cells for over 20 years. I can't remember dates. I can't remember years.
So you only had good brain cells for like 14 years.
Yeah. Nah, they was good for a while, but at like 14, that's when I started trying to kill them off. You feel me?
You doing
Actively.
aerosol? What you was doing?
You know, man. Normal type things that us normal black youths do. A little bit of
I was
this
about to
here.
say crack. I'm like crack give you
Yeah.
better.
Nah, meth.
I feel like crack give you more memory, bro. It's like a.
It probably-
It's like the. It's like when you get external memory card for like an Xbox Series S. Like you got a 1 terabyte now to that 500 gigs that's installed. Like I feel like crack give you more memory. Every crackhead I know got good memory.
That's probably what it is. They gotta remember where they got the good stuff from, because they gotta go back to him in 15 minutes. He might be he might be out, so they gotta know. All right, the next best option is over here, and
Then that's out, you know. Like yo, what the hell? All right, never mind. Yeah, I got a wrong email. That's the wrong one. Anyhow, I'm trying to promote the podcast too at Body More Bottles. Thank y'all for being here. That's listening. Get my brother to 120. He had it 116. Let's get up to 120. So I was about to promote, and then I saw something pop up in my email that I don't need to see. Anyhow, I'm good, y'all. I took the test. This is for something else. So I'll just say that. But I'm good, y'all. I'm not bald because never mind. I'm bald. You feel me?
you, you need to get a wig.
Oh no, facts. I'm gonna get the install. I think that's what it's called.
You should just get the tattoos when they tattoo all the little dots on your head and make it look like you got.
But
You should
then,
get that.
but then if I do that, I feel like I'm gonna hear the beat. The Timberland song, remember Indian flute? I'm gonna hear that beat. God bless Patrice O'Neal. What he said? Is he this Indian or this? He this or this?
That was one funny nigga.
Facts, bro. One of the greatest of all time. Top 5 easy.
He was funny as shit. Like that, some of the stuff he was saying though, like even like not even just on like his stand up, like I used to listen to on I go on YouTube and listen to him when he was on Opie and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Man, hilarious.
Bruh, that'd be better than most people like podcasts, most people stand up. Like that's the last great stand ups were like the Opie and Anthony. That I didn't know back in the day. I was listening to a podcast. I mean, it's a radio show. Like him, Howard Stern
Hmm.
were basically essentially radio shows. But if you think about it now in hindsight, they were actually podcasts.
Yeah,
It was just like 3 or 4 hour podcasts. But I mean, we know podcasting comes from the radio anyway. But it's not, you know what I mean? It's no music involved sometime, and then it's not put together like the radio. So it's essentially it is, but it's not. But with Opie and Anthony, I felt like it was really like a podcast. Just because they was just talking, shooting the shit, and then that was it for 3 or 4 hours. And then it wouldn't be no topics for the most part. So that's what made me seem like it was a podcast. But you know what I mean? As time grew, I was listening to that. Joe Rogan back in the day and Bill Burr. I feel like I was listening. Oh, Combat Jack RIP. I was listening to those. I didn't know they was podcasts till like years later until I started doing podcasts. And I was like, okay.
man, the nigga Bill Burr just he had another one that was doing. I don't know if I didn't listen to him in a minute. I don't know if he still do it, but
Mm-hmm.
he was just podcast by himself.
Facts. And
Like
that's the way I thought it was supposed to be originally.
like like you said, it's not easy. Like I sit up here and do a little alcohol review by myself, but like at the same time, it's like I be sitting there and I be like, all right, what I'm going to say next. Uh, try not to have no dead air because I just be sitting here like trying to think of what I'm going, how I'm going to, what words I'm going to put together to try to describe stuff, and like I couldn't imagine just trying to sit here and just go off the top of the head for like 2 straight hours or an hour even just talking about random stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure he did his homework and he got his bullet points, what he want to hit and everything. But even like with Vin, he got his certain topics, but it seemed like he's making it seem so effortless, like he just, all right, we're gonna talk about this. We talk about the Brooklyn Nets. We're gonna talk about this game. We're gonna talk about this game, and then we're gonna get to the cool down. And but it's just so he go through it so flawless. It make it seem like he just hopping on the mic and just talking.
Facts. Because Vin transitions is crazy. Like I was listening to the Eyeball episode earlier today, and just hearing him talk, you know what I mean, on Wrestle Rap sometime by himself, it's like the transitions, the build up is fire. That's what makes
Mm.
Vin great. So anytime I hear him do it by himself, and then I think about when Bill Burr did it for 45 minutes. 45 minutes by yourself is a long time. That's why when I do podcasts by myself, it's 45 minutes because that's ideally when you want to get it. If you can do more than that, you might be a psychopath. But with Bill Burr, I just remember him doing like I think he used to actually do an hour. But the thing is with him, it's like listening to his stand up because he just talking shit for the most part, but he's answering questions. He's doing it like in a professional manner, and he's having certain topics. But with
Mm-hmm.
him, the best thing about it was when he first started, and this is I think when he first got with his wife or around that time, he was with her already. Like when he moved to LA and started doing it. I don't know how long he was doing it prior to I started listening, but I know I started listening in 2013. So it's crazy now that you're talking about it. If I can find the archives, I'm probably gonna go back to the beginning and just listen. Because he used to just rant and this shit used to be funny. Because he's one of my favorite comedians to begin with, but on his podcast, he used to be clowning. I remember he used to be more problematic on his podcast than his stand up.
And that's the thing. It seemed like he just go on rants. You feel me? And just they just carry the whole podcast.
Mm-hmm. I think on YouTube a couple years ago, I went to like, you know what I mean? YouTube is a wormhole. That's my favorite like app ever, my favorite website, because you could just look at one thing and they algorithms like, look at this. It's sort of like TikTok. Like TikTok, you like one thing, it's like, oh, okay, so I got you at the right algorithms. Those are my two favorite apps. And I remember I went to like, I think I went to like Bill Burr podcast, and then they took me to like the best of Bill Burr and all his rants. And I remember I think he talked about like Boston fans or something, or maybe I'm thinking more so about Opie and Anthony because Patrice is from Boston as well, and they
Mm-hmm.
was talking about the Celtics, how much they hate him. He was like, Kevin Garnett, get the ball to Larry. Talk about Dennis Johnson, get the ball to Larry, you freckle face fucker. Like just doing the Boston accent. And that shit was hilarious to me. But I wish to God Patrice was here. Patrice O'Neal podcast in 2022, he's the best already.
And the thing is, back then he didn't care about getting canceled because he already knew like they wasn't giving him the looks on Hollywood. You know, they hollered the other nigga, what's his name? Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
They was hollering at him because he was more safe. It wasn't like he already knew he might get a couple little roles here and there, but
Hmm.
he wasn't getting the big roles, so he didn't care about getting canceled. He say whatever he want.
Right. And then he wasn't big on being on set. Like remember they talked about that movie him and Jim Norton did. It was like some
Mm.
little on B. Anthony. It's on bro. It's like I'm so glad that stuff's still on YouTube, but it was him and Jim Norton. They did some like kid movie and they had to dance at the end credits. And they talked about how Patrice is just no selling everything. He just said he just didn't like being on set, which people I remember Bill Burr used to say that too. I remember he said like on his podcast, he like, I hate acting. You gotta stand here and fucking do this. But the crazy thing is, in the past couple of years, he be getting busy in Hollywood.
Yeah, he got that cartoon on Netflix. That's funny. F is
I
for
haven't,
family.
yeah, I haven't seen season 2.
It's funny. I think they might be on like 5.
Oh, I'm way behind there.
I'm not too sure. I definitely think it's more than season 2 though. It might only be season 2. I don't know. I watched all of it though. I might be thinking about something else. But you just mentioned YouTube. What Vince just said.
Yeah, you set it up like he's that's fact, but some people don't know that. That's why you're a professional. You just basically
Yeah.
pick a topic, and then it's like, all right, and you time yourself. Like with me, when I do it, I time myself in the matter. Like, all right, I'm gonna stay here for about 5 to 10 minutes, and you kind of get the time exact, and then it's like you'll transition over. Like with us, because we be joking all the time for the most part, even though we do serious stuff. When you joking, it's like a comedian. It's like, okay, now this transition is gonna lead to another joke. Stay here for a minute, then you get to your other joke. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
That
if you listen to Oddball, that's exactly what he do on there.
and it's kind of like the Stephen A. Smith thing. Stephen A. Smith, he do the show, even though he got 20 shows. When he do the show by himself, when he used to do the radio show by himself, he'll talk about it just like Vin said, and then go back to some history,
Mm-hmm.
talk about the now. Then he'll go a little bit if he want to go to the past, he'll go to the past, or if he knows he don't need to go to the past, he'll go to the future and what he thinks is going to happen. And then he used to take callers. Like Stephen A. Smith used to be hilarious when he used to take callers. So,
Facts.
yeah, that's it. It just you have to. I think just like with a comedian, you have to just not kill time, but you got to keep letting time build until it's like, all right. Like we
Mm-hmm.
watch wrestling, obviously, they gonna go for the lockup, and then they're gonna go for the low spots before they get to the high spots because you don't want to burn yourself out. So
Right.
it's like the perfect example is a Kenny Omega match. You start low and then you keep going high spots, and then we're gonna go to near falls towards the end for the go home. So that's exactly how it is. But you know what I mean? Like I ain't saying like I'm a super professional because Ben got more time under his belt than me. But with you and you be doing it by yourself, I'm like, that's fine. Because for the most part, this is a review show, and then now you getting into other stuff with it. You like, all right, I'm gonna do more than that. So I think that's fine, bro. But one day you gonna be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do 45 minutes by myself and see if I can do it.
But nah, shout out to SGG because when I first was kicking around the idea, like actually jumping into it, I
Mm-hmm.
put it in the Discord, like, what y'all think about this? And he was the one who told me, like, keep it like 15, 20, 25 minutes because
Mhm.
that's a nice time that give people like if they go and watch it, they got 20 minutes, 15 minutes they can watch it. You feel me? Watch the whole thing, get everything you need out of it right there. You don't want to make it too long and lose people interest just talking about one thing, you know?
Right, right. Exactly. So, because some people, this is why podcasting is it's in the perfect spot. I'll say that because it's a lot of people. Damn, I never can get comfortable. I move around too much. But with podcasting now, a lot of people talk about like me and Eve kind of talk about it often. But a lot of people tend to stay on one topic for way too long and they make it their own show. Now, I don't want to, bury people, but that shows me you don't have a lot of talent because when that Will Smith, Chris Rock thing happened, people
Mm-hmm.
was egging that on a podcast for 2 hours straight. You don't need to do a Mel Kiper breakdown to another man slapping another man. Like if you want to talk about it, thank God on any platform I was on, we didn't talk about it because it didn't need to be talked about. Because from that Sunday until the next Sunday, if not
Everybody
further than
talked
that,
about it.
everybody and their mama try to figure it out. And it's just like, hey man, the dude had enough of the disrespect. He did it. I just said he need to get his household in order. Kept it pushing. But a lot of people kept going on and on. That's facts.
Yeah.
Everything is pro wrestling. It's like being a great worker. You feel me? You know what you're good at, and you stay with that. Like you're not gonna see the technicians try to do a moonsault, a springboard
Right.
moonsault. They just gonna focus on this wrist lock. Uh, so no, it's just a lot of podcasters tend to just stay on one topic. Like SSG saying, he's absolutely right. Ben probably say the same thing. Podcasters will stay on one topic for 30, 40 minutes, and it's like it's only so much juice you can get out to make this Donald Dunk juice. See, kids, that's a callback. Everything is wrestling. It's only so much you can get out of one topic, man,
That's
and
a
that's
fact.
facts. But a lot of people try to talk about what they do know. And then they try to get 45 minutes out of that.
Yeah, man, it's only so long fake can pretend.
Yeah, just like what's going on right now with the Sasha Naomi thing. Hey man, people in the company don't know. What makes y'all think y'all know? You can
Cause
speculate.
right, that's the thing. It's like everybody talk about it and they wanna. I mean, it's cool. Give your opinion. Give what you think might have happened or whatever. But you can't sit here and say, "Oh, this is what happened," and she's the one who's the leader. She's the one who followed along with her. You don't know. Naomi might have been the one that was like, "Hey, you be leaving all the time, right? How that work out for you? Cool. Let's put these titles on the table and walk out and see what happens."
Right.
You never know. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it might been. We don't
Yeah.
know. We wasn't there.
But
We
we in
ain't
the
talked to
air.
either one of them.
No, you're absolutely right. And we in the era now, like I was telling Rock before we came on air, we in the era now where everybody wants to be right before somebody else. Like being
We
right
should
is
see.
cool.
We should
Like,
see what he doing. See if he want to hop on.
right. I just talked to him too. So text him and see what he say. At that point, he wasn't doing anything. So he might have got into something else. But no, so like I was telling him, it was just the point that you feel me. Some people or most people nowadays, they just want to be right. So they don't mind saying, whatever, just to get a rile out of people. And just because they want to have the drop
Mm-hmm.
on somebody else before. I would think it's back in the day where somebody in the press have a hot tip pause about some news and then they getting the jump on somebody else so they can get it out
Mm-hmm.
for their paper first. Because all this is media to begin with. This is the newspaper just in the digital form. So I would think back in the day, that's exactly how it was. But at the same time, back then, they had to look for the sources as well and confirm that this is accurate. Nowadays, people just want to be misled by something they think they know and they don't know. Like when everybody was jumping out the window last week, starting rooms, that's fine if y'all want to start rooms, but y'all can't say, well, I heard, how did you hear when this person
Man,
don't know?
it's crazy. Like them spaces was going crazy. I'm just sitting there listening, like yo, who? Which one of y'all was in the room with them?
Right.
Cause like I heard somebody say Bruce Pritchard called somebody a nigga. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? Like, maybe he did, but how y'all know? And that was the first time and the only time I ever even heard that piece of information. You
Wait, so
feel me? I'm like,
Mark Henry was there too? He called him that? Like how?
like they
You
was throwing out so much crazy stuff. And I heard somebody say, "Oh, Naomi is the Usos' wife, and he's Roman Reigns' cousin, and they're the Rock's cousin. So they don't want to get the Rock mad because the Rock will never come back after this." Like, how did you work up that chain of events that fast? You feel me? Like
right? How
Roman
y'all
Reigns
know?
don't even seem like he cared.
He don't. They nobody probably cares because it's the thing is with me in situations. If you keep egging it on, I'm gonna get mad. Like let it go. Whatever the situation happened, whatever came from the situation, let it happen. So with me, for them to say Bruce Pritchard said what he said, like, bruh, you know how many people be in a room when Bruce Pritchard and Vince be talking and Michael Hayes? Probably just them three and maybe three other, the five more people, including the writers and producers. Nobody else gonna know. And if the talent is involved, they're gonna be right there. That's it. Ain't gonna be nobody with no sources. None of them gonna go tell, hey, this what happened in the meeting with Vince. You know why? Because that's how you lose your job. Because the only person that's, job secure there is Michael Hayes. And even he can be let go because Vince has showed he let his own son go. So what
I'm
makes you
about to
think
say,
nobody else?
I think Michael Hayes has been let go before.
Probably so. Like, once again, Vince let his son go. Anybody can get it.
I think that might have just been just some publicity stuff. Like Shane was just coming back for that run, and he was going to be gone anyway. Probably was only getting paid per appearance anyway, so they was just like, "Hey, we just gonna put this out here. We're gonna let Shane go." I don't think that was nothing too deep to read into because he'll probably be back if they even come back. Feel me?
Yeah, it's still hilarious though. Like they had him for
Yeah,
that Royal Rumble, he got eliminated, and they was just like, "All right, bro, that's enough." Like the next morning, that's enough. We don't need it. It was like around 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He was gone. I said, "All right,
yeah. I mean, they'll let anybody go. They showed up, but every time they release people, it's like I can understand and this one, but y'all just gonna let him go? Y'all gonna let her go? Like,
hey man, these are the games we play." I don't know, but you know, with Sasha and Naomi, man, listen, they are already two of the greatest talent to ever come to WWE. Sasha Banks got a case for the greatest of all time besides Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? This It's nothing else for you. With me, how this is my mindset in life. Maybe it's a bad mindset to have. With me in life, when I feel like it's nothing more else I can do, but I'm just here, just doing it. It's like being a Hall of Fame player. Like let's say if Russ, KD, and James Harden retire tomorrow, it was nothing else for them to do. Two of those players not going to get a championship. One of them probably, well, three of them probably not going to get another. One of them isn't going to get another championship, and then the other two aren't going to get championships, and they solidified they place in history anyway. It's the same thing with LeBron. At this point, you just playing to get the all-time record, but it's not needed. Hey man, but I do eat cooch anyhow. Uh,
I mean, I see what he's saying though. Like, and people just want they like Marlo said on the wire. You want it to be one way, but it's
boy,
the
y'all
other
be
way.
quoting that wire.
Who else be quoting it?
Everybody, but I understand though. I understand completely why. That's probably one of the most quoted shows in history. Like, it's 20 some years later, people using like gifs and memes from it. Still,
Yeah, yeah. I
like
mean,
somebody recently quoted, the thing about the old days is the old days.
yeah. It's a lot of real shit that they said on there, man. Like I was listening to y'all on the BVD, and y'all was talking about top HBO shows.
Mm.
Like, yeah, you got to put it up there with it. Like, I think you said Wire, Sopranos, Entourage, like David said. I'd agree with that. Game of Thrones is my shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to come back on there and talk about that, or talk with it with Mimi, bro. I'm still at season one, in the beginning.
man. I got on Game of Thrones because like we used to have Direct TV, and like if you don't get certain packages, you don't get certain channels. You feel me? And
Hmm.
when we ain't have HBO, and they just give us one week, and they gave us HBO for free for the weekend, and they
Mm.
was playing nothing but Game of Thrones all weekend. Man, after that, we went and was going to Target and buying box sets of that joint, DVDs.
Oh, y'all did the right way. Y'all wasn't downloading, because I for sure would have got on the
I should
download,
have.
bro.
I should have.
But them gigs used to take a minute, because I'm trying to think. Like, that was 2012, somewhere around that. I think 2013, somewhere around that. And I'm trying to think, was I think
Probably.
LimeWire was already dead at that point, but it was still the torrent sites besides LimeWire. I think Pirate Bay
Mm,
was still up and all that, but
Pirate Bay. uTorrent.
yeah, but it used to take, like, if something like a gig, depending on how fast your internet is, and most people didn't have real fast internet until like 2015. Yo, it used to take sometime a day to get stuff
Yeah,
downloaded, and then you better
man.
hope it's the right file too.
Back in the day, man, I used to go to University of Maryland, College Park, right?
Mhm,
We got up there, orientation, they told us about this. It might have been orientation or like the first day. They told us about this. They had this thing. It was like a file sharing, like kind of like LimeWire type of thing. You feel me? But it was like for people on the campus. Like they had their own little server or whatever on the campus. It was
mhm.
called DC plus plus, and you could go in there and like everything. Everybody would just like share their whole hard drive basically. So if you got something on your hard drive, you feel me? You could throw it up there. You sign on there, and I could like if I'm looking for something that you got, I
Mhm.
could download it. You feel me? But it would be like the more people that had the same files, the faster to download because it'd take pieces from everybody. Man, that was the best thing ever. So many viruses though came from that. You got so many viruses from that, but man, you think of it, the download on your computer, it was on there.
Facts. Because listen, forget the only fans file. I used to have that one site with the brother. You feel me? The I don't know how to phrase this properly, but that one site that's based out of Florida. You feel me, with the bus? I used to have like a 1 gig folder. I said, Holly Berry here. Go
All
over
that
to your
on
room, T Mark.
there.
Time out, T Mark. Time out.
Time out.
Time out, T Mark. Bruh. So yeah, that was the days where you had to, but once again, you got to make sure, because then you might get a virus if it ain't the accurate file.
Man, I remember one time I downloaded, I don't know what song it was. Probably some Pat Poose or something I was trying to download. And it was Soldier Boy. Like it said whatever it was, whatever I thought it was. I hit play and it's Soldier Boy. Like
Facts. That's what they was doing in '06 though. Like, you'll try to
that's what it
download
was.
something. Yeah,
Oh
off
05, oh 06.
LimeWire. Yeah. And then you be like, oh, I'm about to get the Not American Dream mixtape. And all you hear is, I got me some bathing apes. And this before, son, and I swear this before people even knew who Soldier Boy was. He was like, what the
It
fuck is
was
a Soldier Boy?
you.
Yeah, we was
Like
like, bruh. We was in high school. Me and you the same age. We was like, bruh, what the fuck is this?
So heated. Cause man, I used to open the door in the room, you feel me? Leave the door open and blast the music through the hallways. Thinking I'm about to blast some fire. And I'm the only black dude on the whole floor. Thinking I'm about to blast some fire through the hallways. Soldier Boy. Cut that off so quick and deleted it, man.
What people say when they heard Soldier Boy.
Ain't nobody say nothing. I mean, it was all white, so they probably, if I would have let it jump, let it keep jamming, they probably would have thought it was jumping.
Bruh, Soldier really is a legend because that was 05, 06, and we still be seeing him. He got to be a
Man,
legend.
I should have just got out in the hallway and started dancing if I would have known it back then.
Yeah,
Now that I
because
think
that,
about it,
yeah, because that dance, because he was like, how he be saying, I'm the first rapper to do everything. He was low key like the first rapper online, the first rapper like on MySpace going crazy with the dances. Like the videos was deep fried, but he was doing the dance. Yo, low key, he was the first. I remember he had the Lamborghini chain.
you could take it off and drive it.
Bro, I remember that he had the Lamborghini chain. It was like pink diamond studded, and he was
Hold up.
riding around with it.
Back then, I was banging that Asheroff. Then
Wow, I love college Asheroff. I
I love
forgot.
college. Yeah, yeah, that's 100% facts.
Because
I
remember, Asher
definitely
Roth
had
was
that.
on the '09 double XL cover, but he was known a little bit before that. Because I bought his first album, "Asleep in the Bread Owl." I bought that
In
bootleg.
in that video, he had on the Maryland flag shorts.
He from Maryland?
He even from here. I think he went to college here or something.
Let's
But he
see.
used to rap, so
I think he just put out a project with Knots and Blue last year, if I'm not mistaken.
that's crazy. He's still out here. I thought he just disappeared in the ether.
No, he from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but I think he must have went to Maryland then because he
Let's
definitely had on a pair of Maryland flag pants or shorts.
Yo, podcasting is such a weird thing, bro. Because who would have thought 10 o'clock at night I'll be up here looking at, is it 10 o'clock? Yeah, it's 10 o'clock at night. And I'm up here looking up Asher Roth's catalog. Like, it's such a weird thing. And I can't believe I remember that album. I thought the album came out in '09. I mean, 2010. It was '09.
Crazy, man.
Damn, time go by fast. Yeah, that was '09 when I bought that album. Because it was only one song I was messing with off that. And it was like a B-side. He went to Westchester. He just had the flat. He just had the shorts on because he's from Westchester, or he went to school Westchester University, which is in Pennsylvania.
Oh, maybe it was. I could have swore it was that Sharaf had on some Maryland flag on his shorts.
Probably
Maybe,
so.
maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know.
That's around the same time my son that was walking like 2, 3 years ago across the country. What's his name? The R&B singer, the white dude.
Oh man, I remember that.
Let me
Who
see.
was that across?
Cause he was remember he was recording a lot with Big Sean because he from Detroit as well, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm gonna find this out. Cause I remember he got bit by a snake bite. I remember on
I'm about to say,
Joe Budden podcast, they kept on like giving us a update on him, and they was like, "Yeah, he got bit by a snake like in Arizona or something like that." And Joe Budden's
this.
like, "Bro, just go home."
Let me see if I can figure this out.
Walks across country. I'm about to put across America. I put rapper walks across. Mike Poser.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was 2019 because that's when I was like listening to Joe Budden podcast for real, and they was just giving an update because he got bit by a snake. He had to go to the hospital, and they was gonna take him back home, but he was like, "Nah, I'm
Oh,
about to go walk."
Let
Yeah,
me
he
see if
walked
I
for 6 months across the country, 3,000 miles.
let me see if I can figure this out real quick.
Dog, you know how healthy you got to be to do that shit? Like, I can give y'all, because the most I've walked in a day was 20 miles. I can give y'all, you know what I mean, 20 miles or so.
This this the one right here I was listening to.
Yeah. Because I think he was signed to Don Cannon
Oh,
and them.
yeah, I ain't mean to do all that. I'm just figuring out how to share the screen.
No, that's straight. But yeah, I remember that. The greenhouse effect 1, 2, and 3.
I gotta remove that now. All right. But we got him in here.
Hey yo,
Look, and he got his equipment.
what's happening?
We
Remember,
got
you remember Asher Roth?
And we drinking, of course. I couldn't come on here without something in my hand.
I mean, we just on here talking, but you already know what time it is.
What's happening, people?
Listen,
Good word.
not a damn thing. All we do is talking about old rappers we ain't heard in about 11 years.
Yeah, I definitely ain't heard. I definitely can't tell you the last time I heard Asher Roth's name.
Look, that's why I told him, like, podcast is such a weird thing because I did not expect this late to be talking about Asher Roth.
Nah, nah.
Right.
I don't think Asher Roth expected nobody to be talking about him in the year of our Lord 2022.
Not this late at night either. So I'm like,
Yeah,
in my
he,
mind, like, yo,
he
we should listen to some Asher Roth music. I'm like, no.
yeah, he just as surprised as I am at this whole conversation.
He
Facts.
probably gonna find this because somebody said his name.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We
He
need
got
to
a
add
Google
him.
alert. Yeah, he probably got a Google alert for whenever his name pop up.
He go about to come to Body More Bottles right now. Now we definitely need it. You definitely got to get an Asher Roth interview. I don't know what y'all
I'm
gonna
at
talk about, but
what he was drinking in college.
There you go.
what Van say about Anthony Hamilton? Because he about to get
I
me.
was just about to.
He's saying the R and hook on one track on everybody else. He just put out an album last year that was fire.
I'm about to say Anthony Hamilton still be around. Or I'm thinking about Music Soul Child.
No, he put out an album last year. It was good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Music put out one. Yeah, in the last year. Huh?
he
Music
was
did
talking
as
about
well.
Anthony.
Yeah, no, I think Music put out one last year too. I think.
Hold on, let me
Let me
look
see. I
that
thought
up.
I remember seeing that pop up on.
Yeah, you know that nigga got multiple personalities. For real.
Yeah, don't he be trying
But
to be a rapper sometime?
but if you think about it, it might be kind of smart. Because if he can sign himself 3 or 4 different times, you feel me?
So what's
And
his alias's name? Is he doing like so they
I
are
can't
Music Soul Child, but does he take the
nah.
glasses off and he look like
They
Cyclops one time or what happens?
they all got different names, but I was about to say I don't think you take the glasses off because you know he only got one good eye.
The eye be going half crazy in his head.
That was mean. Oh, nah. February of 21
He
was
put
when
out an
it was.
album.
I don't know why. I thought it was late in the year, but yeah, it was February of 21. He put out his last album.
That's
But
That's
last year.
news
I
to me.
remember seeing him put out something last year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tap in because that's news to me. I did not expect that.
Yeah,
Music, music still
yeah.
out here, man.
It's on title. That's
Facts.
why I
That's
just
a
went to go check it out at.
best streaming service. That's what we need some money from title.
Hey, it's one of the few things I actually give my money to because they deserve it. It's the
Yeah, that
best
$20
streaming service.
a month is kind of worth it. Or if you,
Yeah.
yeah, I know another way to get it, but I'll tell y'all off air how to get it.
Well, we're gonna let that
Yeah.
go.
Hey
What's
Vin, you
that?
can't go wrong with that Usher Confessions, man.
Neither one of them. All that kiss of death.
Yo, Vin gotta explain that playlist that he put. Y'all seen that playlist he put up on from Spotify on the timeline?
Nah,
Hey,
nah.
Vin may be the most interesting man in the world.
By far.
Yeah, he might be the most interesting man in the world. Because when you read that playlist, it looks like something I put out.
That's
I
what I'm
got
saying. Fam was like,
Yeah,
yo, who auntie is you?
yeah, yeah. It's definitely something. It's definitely something going on with Mighty Vin.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
because on IG he put up I forgot it was like a jazz album. I was like, all right, cool, that's cool. But when he put the
Mm,
playlist up the other night, I said, okay, now I got questions.
oh, I think I said.
Wait, hold on. Give me one quick second.
Oh yeah, Vin going crazy.
But you see how it's synchronized?
Yeah, he
Like,
going
bruh, he got a
crazy.
sequence properly. And I'm just like, I got all type of questions. Like, I'm not gonna say, how do you know that? But it's just like, bruh, how do you know that?
Vin might need a radio show.
Oh, they did back in the day, him and Emilio,
Uh,
if I'm not
he might need
mistaken.
to.
All right, I'm
He
back.
might whatever
I had to sit down. I have a lighter with me. You know, I can't drink enough.
Right, you got your
whatever
square.
Yeah.
whatever. It's some new app that you can make your own radio shows on. Vin might need to get on there and play some music and talk for a minute.
But the thing is,
Hey,
he gonna go
the
ahead, huh?
man knows. He knows something about everything. It don't matter what the topic you bring up. Vin has an opinion. He has a well thought out opinion. It ain't just no talking to be talking. Like I say, he may be the most interesting man in the world. I forgot who we had gave that title to, but I think Vin might have got it from.
I wish I had to drop on here. I definitely would have put it up. It would have been perfect right now. Avery going 90 feet because I think that's who was the most. I think that's who was the most interesting man, but he might have just got bumped.
Well, you
Uh,
know, we could give it to that because Avery is the future prime minister of Canada. So I mean, he got enough going on for himself right now, anyway.
That's what I'm about to
yeah,
say. Avery been low lately. That mean he working. I barely see Avery.
nah, he be out there. He be working. He going to these hockey games and stuff.
Yeah, you know, they're in the playoffs. The hockey playoffs is
Yeah,
going on right now. So yeah,
yeah,
Avery
he been,
putting in work on that.
yeah, he definitely doing his thing out there. Like I feel like yo might be a legit celebrity up in Canada for real.
He is.
I think
He is.
so.
Yeah. Avery got some. That's why I keep telling him whenever I come up there, he definitely will be the first person I call when the Mountie grab me. Because you know I'm going to cause an international incident if I go to Canada. And my first call is going to be to Avery to come and get me out of trouble.
I feel like he got the pull too.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I feel
and
like
definitely.
then
he
we
got
ain't
the.
gonna. Hey, and then we won't bring up his past life. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. We gonna let that go.
I don't know. You gonna tell me off here? I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, that's definitely all bad banks. I'll let you know.
Facts, because I seriously don't know. That's why. So
Nah,
y'all gonna have to tell
yeah,
me
Hey,
afterward.
hey,
yeah,
I'm gonna put it like this: Avery makes moves.
yeah.
He
Oh,
makes
okay,
moves.
bet.
Yeah, he makes moves.
Don't let the fedoras fool you.
No, yeah, that
Listen.
that fedora has seen some things. Yeah.
They got him out there though, from what I've been told.
I just want to
Hey,
ask
he
Avery.
keeps saying we need to go up there.
I
I
don't.
never been to Canada either.
I don't, because all the women I'm interested in, they outside of America. And I know my gun go off. And I ain't gonna be able to see the child.
Hey, I just want him to hook me up with old girl, little basketball chick. Uh, Natalie, I can't remember I don't know how to pronounce her last name, But yeah, I've been
You
on him
gotta
about
send
that
that.
for 2 years.
Yeah, you gotta send the
I know
app.
you know her. I know you know her. I just
Yeah,
need him to make the connection for me. I can handle it from there.
send
Just
the
make
app
the
when you get
introduction.
a chance.
Yeah, yeah. I just need him to make the introduction for me. I can take it from
That nigga definitely. I definitely think if you, it don't. I feel like it don't matter what. Like Canada is a big country. You feel me? I feel like it don't matter what part of Canada you go to. Like you can just drop his name and you probably it'd be good. If he not around, they can get him on a call and get you out of jam. You feel me?
So you think
I
he
feel
cool
like
in Nova Scotia?
his name ring bells in Nova Scotia.
there.
Ain't that where the trailer park boys is?
Is it?
Y'all ever watch that shit on Netflix, the Trailer Park Boys?
Nah, I
No,
seen one episode of it because they had the original J Rock on there.
That's my shit. Trailer Park Boys.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I done peeped him out a few times.
They had Snoop on there one time. Or a couple times for real, like for a couple episodes. But
Yeah, I thought they from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, or something like that.
I don't know. But that bring to mind a question I was gonna ask anyway. What's like a guilty pleasure, something that you watch like that probably wouldn't nobody think that you watch like on YouTube or on TV, a TV show or something like that. Something that you enjoy watching that like people probably wouldn't guess that you watch.
So what? And this has been going on for me for the last couple of months, and even it's weird to me that I'm so fascinated with this. I will sit on Facebook and watch the videos of the little dudes cleaning cars and cleaning like rugs. That's like 2 hours.
That's one for
Just
me.
watching them doing the detail where they do like the full detail. They take the seats out and all of that.
They
And
they pull out the little brushes and be swirling the
yeah, yeah,
dashboard.
yeah, yeah. They got the drill brush to scrub the carpets and all of that. Oh, that's like I said, that I can knock out 2 hours just watching
that's
videos of somebody clean a car.
that's one for me.
Yeah,
Another one that I like what that I be watching on Instagram is niggas cleaning the horse's foot.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
and they
changing the
come,
shoes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know exactly. That's another one I watch. That's another one
Man,
I watch.
let me think. Lately, oh no, forget that one. I'll sit and watch To Catch a Predator on YouTube. Old To Catch a Predators. Them joints is hilarious.
Hey, oh yeah, hey. Every time, every time they hit that door, Chris Hansen turn that corner.
Come
Have a
here,
seat.
have a
Have a
seat.
seat.
And the
Yeah,
dudes be like, "Damn, bro." They be like,
Is
they
you a
heart be
father?
racing like a motherfucker. Yeah,
Who are
because ain't nothing
you?
you can say.
I'll
yeah.
get to that in a
Hey,
second.
when them cameras hit you and you realize Chris Hansen standing in your face, you know what you did, and you know they got it all on tape. There's no backing out of that.
Yo, he be pulling out the the transcripts. He be like, I have all the transcripts right here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. At this point, it's like the show done been on so long. You know, they know who he is.
Hmm.
So the
They
minute he
should,
turned that corner, you already know. Yeah, you already know.
man. That shit
Yeah,
just
you
be
ain't talking. You're not
hilarious.
talking your way out of that. You're not. There's no explanation. There's no nothing because you know he got all the details. He got the transcript. He been the one. His people was the one who was holding the conversation with you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You done. You done.
And once he let you go, it's like, all right, as soon as you step foot outside that door, you
Yeah,
go down.
yeah. They waiting on
Look, and they be thinking it be all sweet. They be like, all right, bro, he gave me a little monologue. He cut a promo on me. La 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 la. They step outside,
They,
12
they
be
be
on
like,
the
they be like,
the laws be on their ass so fast.
out of there, and then they show them downtown in the office like,
It, was- it was one
it
of
was a
those.
question. It was a question.
So y'all remember the one with the little Spanish dude? They called him. He was like, "No, I ain't know. I thought you." He started playing it. I said, "Boy, if you don't get your,"
you.
They be lying hard too. Like, how old is like 18? Like, here she said she was 13. Like,
That's what they go to.
catching.
So we have the transcripts right here, and we can clearly say when she told you she was 13 years old, and you said that wasn't a problem. Now, what do you have to say to that? Like, I ain't got
One,
nothing to say to it. Y'all got me. Y'all got me. That's all I got to say. Y'all got me. Just go ahead. I don't want to sign it. I'm not going to sign a release. I don't want you to put this on TV so my mama can see it. Just go ahead and let the people mess me up. Blur my face out, put the little pixelation on my face. I'm just going to go ahead and go outside, let the people take me on it.
oh, one nigga came in there with his mans though. It was like he brought his mans with him and shit.
what type of party y'all about to have? He talking about you, right?
You should
I know
start if
what
you
you're
really.
talking about. Yeah, I don't need to watch that because I lived that life.
You might as well start your own channel.
Yeah, well, now, see, I don't have to do that now. I don't got to, I don't have a sleep in my truck. They call it day trip. It's just 2 seats or
All
whatever.
right.
I'm in hotels when I'm somewhere overnight. But yeah, I didn't have that sleep of life before. It's terrible.
Y'all gotta
Yeah,
pull up
it's
to the
terrible.
rest stops. Y'all sleep. It's like a little compartment or something where y'all sleep, or y'all gotta sleep in the truck and just lay in the front seat like this. How that work?
Nah, you actually, depending upon the size of the truck, there's a bed behind the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, like you see some of them big 18 wheelers. Some of them they might have like a full or even a queen size bed. Like it's damn near a whole nother room
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
that sits behind it. And usually you have curtains that you can pull across, that go right behind the seat, so you can block it all off. I just seen some of them. It's a full setup. They got TVs, they got a microwave, they got a refrigerator, they got their bed, like they got the whole setup.
You gotta leave the
But that's
truck
the
running
dudes
for
that
all that
be
shit to stay on.
no, nah. But your truck, your truck, average truck, you got anywhere between on a big truck like that, you got like between 3 and 5 batteries on that truck. So, you can pull in there, you get to the truck stop, excuse me. You back in, you can go inside. Most, especially like the big name truck stops, they're gonna have, if you do want to not just spend all the time in the truck, you go inside. They got a lounge area that's got TVs. They may have like a game room. They got the showers. They got everything you need. So you can go in there. You can take your shower. Self freshen up. You could chill out. If you want to just sit in the lounge or whatever, or you could just go back get something to eat. Go back in your truck and post up in the truck. Sit out your 10 hours until your time restarts for the day. You get back on the road.
That's what's up.
Might be
Yeah.
CDL time for
Oh,
real. For
I don't
real.
even know what
What's happening, nephew?
Eve in the building. I don't even know what question. You might be talking about like what's something that you watch. The question that I asked, like what's something that you watch that people probably wouldn't think of. Use that. Throw it on the Patreon. I don't care, man. I want to know what
Yeah,
everybody be watching.
that truck life. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm glad that I did it when I now my timing wasn't great because I started driving over the road when my son was like 8 months old, like 7, 8 months old. So I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things with him when he was little, I would miss out on because I wasn't there. But as
Mm-hmm.
far as the experience, can't beat. I got to see things that I would have never seen. I tell people all the time, I'm a dude
Gotcha,
from the
gotcha.
hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a dude from the hood. It's a whole lot of things. I remember the first time that the dude who owned the company that I was working for, the first time that I had to do a run into Florida, um, he was with me. So we went down, uh, we had to go to like Tampa. We had to go to, oh, appreciate that, E. Uh,
Absolutely.
we went to Tampa, went to Orlando, then we shot down and we went to Miami. So we made a few stops in Miami. It might have been like 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We was done. So he was like, "All right, man. We done. What you want to do?" I was like, "Well, how far away are we from the beach?" He's like, "Oh man, we might be like 4 or 5 blocks." He's like, "You want to go to the beach?" I was like, "Well, really? I don't want to go to the beach, but I want to go out there." I was like, "Man, I ain't never seen the ocean before. I'm from New Orleans.
Hmm.
I had never been further away than like Texas and Mississippi. All of my growing up, grow up, like I said, dude from the hood. Been nowhere before. So just to be able to say that time, I actually got to go stand out and actually see the ocean for the first time. And, getting to go to New York and, all of these places that I've been, you know, that I would probably, I mean, now, I'm older now and, a little more established and I can kind of make moves. But as a 25, 26, 27-year-old dude, I wasn't in a position to be able to go to all these different places and see the stuff that I saw. But
Mm-hmm.
driving that truck took me to those places and, let me be able to have some of those experiences that I wouldn't have had, any other way.
When you was doing that, so like you got, so like you said, like, because I know with the DOT, you gotta have a certain amount of time off before you get back on the road. So you gotta like when you go different places, you got time to actually enjoy the place or like see different sights and stuff between getting back on the road and driving.
So back then, yes, because it was way easier to just wild out and do stuff that you technically weren't supposed to be doing. As far as like hours and all that kind of stuff, because everything was being done by hand. So I mean, I had a log book that I would have to by hand fill out. Okay, I was off this many hours. I drove this many hours. I did this. I did that. So I mean, you could get away with things that you can't do now. Now that everything is computerized, like I have a computer in my truck. From the moment
Mm-hmm.
that truck starts, it's recording and keeping track of everything I do. So it knows when I'm moving, it knows when I'm stopped, it knows if I'm off, when I'm on, it like everything is being kept on that. So, if you driving now is way different than when I started. Cause like I said back then, if you knew the game, you could wild out. I mean, I did some things that was just, the old times taught me. So I mean, I did some things that were completely and totally illegal, basically. Um, running two
Statute of
logbooks
limitations
and
is up.
yeah, it was things that you could do that we was doing back then that you definitely couldn't get away with now. I mean, we was, you know, back then. I mean, you could go on a truck stop. I think I may have talked about this with y'all before, but you could go on a truck stop. They sell these things called yellow jack, and a yellow jacket was basically speed in a pill form that they sold in truck stops. And you go on a truck stop, I would get a yellow jacket and a Red Bull. Pop the yellow jacket, wash it down with Red Bull, and I mean that I can the longest run I ever had. I was in Baltimore. I woke up one morning and started my day in Baltimore. I had a stop in Baltimore, a stop in Atlanta, and a stop in Montgomery, Alabama. And when I stopped driving, I was back at home. I drove
Hey,
I drove 17 hours.
I was about to say, I know from here to Atlanta is at least 10 hours.
Right.
Yeah. No, I did it. It was a 17-hour day. I did all the driving because so at that time we actually was running in teams. So I was having nothing to do with me. Well, a guy who normally worked with me, I think he had got fired or something, and they needed me to go out and do a run. Well, they didn't have another driver, so they just pulled the dude like out the warehouse. Well, he couldn't drive. I don't even think he had a license. Period. He definitely didn't have a CDL, so he couldn't drive. So basically, he was there to keep me company, and if I needed, he was there to carry stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did all the driving, and I mean, we're talking. This is before, like GPSs were a thing, but it wasn't like a prevalent like now where everybody, you got GPS on your phone, everybody had their car, whatever. So I didn't have a GPS. I would be on the highway. I'm driving with a truck atlas sitting on the steering wheel. So as I'm driving, I'm looking down at an atlas to figure out where I gotta go and where my next stop is. And like I say, I left from Baltimore, made 3 stops, and when I stopped, I think I left there at like 8 o'clock that morning, and I made it home at like 2 or 3 o'clock the next morning, something like that. So it was like 17, 18 hours that I had been running, and you're not supposed to do more than 11.
That man popped that bead. He went through the matrix.
Hey, eyes on 10, fuck driving out the highway.
It was
Yeah.
Bro, they thought it was a demon driver. They like, hold on. Cause I'm doing the calculations in my head, like, wait a minute. From Baltimore to Atlanta, to New Orleans. Bro, what? It's 17 hours. I'm like, how is that physically possible?
I'm telling you, if you know any old truck drivers, anybody that's been driving for, say, 10, 15 years, if you know a truck driver that's been driving that long, you ask them about Yellow Jackets. I promise you they know what it is.
But I say, imagine how many people, like, how many truck drivers was doing this, though.
Hey, and the trip part, like, that was actually, like, to do the Yellow Jackets and things, like, that was in the minority. Because most of them dudes was just doing actual speed. Like, they was on straight amphetamines out there flipping, rolling.
Breaking them down. Yeah.
They hit whatever they hit, get on that road. If they did need to take them a break, you get the truck stop, get yourself cleaned up. Depending upon the kind of person you was, you might get a knock on your truck door. You make a decision. If you want you some company for a little while.
The lot
and
lizards.
Then you start moving again.
The lot lizards.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tripping Off Trucker.
They still be out there. I had it was a little while ago. So I hit a truck stop, and like I said, I don't stay at the truck. I get the truck stop to get fuel or to get food or whatever while I'm rolling. So I stopped at one. I'm getting something to eat. So I'm ordering my food. I'm waiting on them to fix it or whatever. So I see a little dude and a little chick. They come in. The little dude walk up. Oh, what's going on, big man? I was like, nothing, man. I'm chilling. Oh, what you running? I was like, man, I work on equipment. It's a whole, thing or whatever. All right. Well, you done for the night? I said, yeah, man. I'm just about to, grab me some need. I'm going in. Man, my girl over there, if you want some company for the night. I was like, well, no, Playboy, I don't get down like that. I don't get down like that. He's like, man, you sure? I take care of you. It ain't gonna hit you that much. I was like, nah, man. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. And they would just walk through. They just would hang out at the truck stop. They catch the drivers coming in and out. And like I said, if they can't catch you coming in and out, they will actually, because I mean, if you go, especially like the big truck stops, that's what dudes will park for the night or whatever. So you go out there at night, it might be 100 trucks out there parked. And I done seen them just going from truck to truck, knocking on that door, see who let them in.
Dude was just sleep in the truck. He hear a knock. Yeah, you cool. Come on. Hurry up and run in.
And that's the thing, if you hear that knock, ain't nobody knock. There's no other reason for somebody to come knock on your truck door while you in there parked, backed into that hole. You know what's happening when somebody knock on that door.
That's crazy. You gotta be really. How they look though?
Some of them look like that's where they supposed to be.
Okay, that's enough said.
They got most of them. They look like they doing the best they can with their life decisions. But when you catch a new one, you be thinking to yourself like, what is you doing? Like, what's happening with your life that this is where you have found yourself?
Meth.
So it's just like when they walk in the street. They got some of them you see them be like, yeah, you supposed to be walking the street. I understand. And then you got some of them where you be like, well, damn, what bad decision did you make in life that brought you here?
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. It seemed to be a thing from what I learned tonight.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a thing.
I thought they was just out there. I didn't know it was actual pimps out there.
Right.
It's a mix of both. You got some of them that's got their pimp with them. Then you got some that's independent.
Hey, and then you gotta think about this. At 3 a.m., they all look the same. So truckers thinking about it. 3 a.m., it don't matter. She look good at 3 a.m.
And I mean, you gotta it's some of them dudes. Like I like some of them for real, like long haul dudes. Some of them dudes, they out there they might be on the road for like a month, 2 month stretches. Now, not in the shower, at least. Well, not that I'm aware of.
Right. I was about to say it's a possibility, but
yeah, it could be going on, but not that I'm aware of. But I mean, like I said, some of them dudes they might be on that road for a month, 2 months, 3 months straight.
Damn.
So you've been out there 2 months. You might be a little less choosy. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't seen Bethany. They like, all right, I gotta go with Heffany. Let's go with that
there
instead.
There you go.
So 2 or 3 months straight just on the road. Like, how do you just on the road for 2-3 months straight?
Like so let's say you here. All right, I'm in New Orleans. I may get a load going to Dallas. Mm-hmm. So I pick up here. I go to Dallas. I drop off a trailer in Dallas. Well, they done already set up another one for me going from Dallas to Kansas City. So when I drop that one off, I just pick up another one, go to Kansas City. I get that, drop that one off. They might have another one going to LA. I grab that trailer, you go to LA. You get there, all right, now we got another one, need to go to San Francisco. And it's like you drop off, they already got it set up for you to pick up something else. And you just keep bouncing, just from spot to spot, wherever it need to go. And like I say, they'll stay out there months at a time, just going from spot to spot to spot. And, finally they may run for however long. Let's say you do 2 months. You might have in them 2 months time, you might have picked up 30, 40 G's. Come home for a month, Go do it again, and just keep
Damn.
repeating that cycle.
Yeah, it might be CDL's time for me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, hold on. Because I told Rock a couple months ago, I'm like, man, it might be CDL time, but I might be serious.
Hey, it's. I mean, if you so when you first start off, like that's really the way that you can make some real money because like me, I'm not doing that, but I'm also 20 years in.
Mm-hmm.
So can now with what I do now, like that's not even up for debate for me. Like that's just not how my job works. But even when I was driving over the road, well now I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna go out there and run because I've been doing this for so long. But a new dude, like basically when you new, they're gonna give you all the stuff that people like me don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
You ain't got no seniority.
if you got that hustle and you don't have little kids or if you don't have if you got the type, if you do got a girl or whatever, you got the type that's like, I ain't worrying about it, go out there and make your money. Like, it's money to be made if you're willing to run. And with a lot of it, it's literally all you're doing is drive. Because with a lot of stuff like that, usually a lot of that is what they call no touch free, which means that when you get to wherever it is, you just backing in. And you either just gonna drop that trailer completely and just leave it there and go get another trailer, or if it is like where something that you gonna hold on to is you gonna back in. They have somebody that's gonna come and unload that trailer for you. They gonna load it up whatever needs to go out, and then you drive back off again. So literally, all you doing is just driving from place to place.
So you don't even gotta unload it.
No, with stuff like if they like I said with the ones because they'll have it listed in the job if it's no touch freight, all you do is drive. When you get to wherever you're going, either they have somebody there that's going to unload it for you right then, or like I said, you may have to just back in somewhere and you just going to drop that whole trailer and leave the trailer there. And then they may have another trailer for you to pick up at that location, or you may have to drive to another place they call deadhead. You just drive just the truck with no trailer to the next spot and you pick up a trailer there and then you off to the next place.
And it's wild.
Here you go. I should have known. If anybody was gonna say it,
You know he was gonna say something.
it
That's
was
the
gonna
lot
be Vince.
lizard so. Or the dude's doing that to the lot lizard so.
So
All right.
yeah, like I said, it's definitely it's money to be made out there. You just gotta. I tell people all the time. I've been doing this for a long time. I love what I do. You definitely need to. You gotta like driving. You have to. You need to. If you're gonna do this long term, you need to love to drive. Like I love to drive. I'm one of them. If we like Banks knew we got ready to go to Dallas, everybody making their flight stuff. I was like, oh, I'll meet y'all there. I'm gonna drive. Cause to me, that's 7.5 hours. That ain't nothing to me. That's right on my alley. I hop in my car. I got my music or whatever I want to listen to, and I can roll. But if it's something that you actually enjoy doing and you don't necessarily have something that's pulling you back to home, you can make a lot of money. Now, even if you have something, you got kids or whatever, you can still make decent money. Like I said, I started, my little boy wasn't even 1 year old. Excuse me. I made nice money and I still make nice money. And at that time when I first started off, like I said, when you first start, you got to do what you got to do. So I think at that time, the longest that I was out at any one time was like 3 weeks. But for the most part, I was usually like 10 to 14 days that I would be gone. And then I would be home for like a week. And then, 10 to 14 days. And it kind of went back and forth like that. But yeah, you can. So, even in a situation like that, you can do well. But if you can really just get out there and stay out there, it ain't nothing to do. You do 6 figures easy. Yeah, you can do that easy.
Might be time. A Banks versus Davis CDL edition.
In
Had to
the
record for
Hey,
the
back of
truck.
you
hey,
say
you
in
can
the back
record
of
for
the
the truck.
truck, get
That's what I'm
Wi-Fi in
saying.
that joint, man.
There
It's
you
gonna be
go.
the
You can
decision.
record for the truck.
So Banks, what do you think about Top Gun Maverick? Like, bruh, I am in Toledo, Ohio right now, and I gotta make a run to Houston, Texas by tomorrow.
They be like, Banks, what is that knocking? I keep hearing on you. Is somebody knocking on your truck door?
Oh, I'm about to
All
watch a
right,
different
we
movie.
got to wrap this one up short. We're gonna have to end this
Right.
episode.
We
Bring
gotta
her
end this
on.
one early.
Bring her on. The lizard wanted to watch a movie. Baby, tell her what you think about Top Gun. She got 1, 2 falling out. The other one already gone. I think it's great.
Oh.
Ironically, her name is Maverick.
Her pop's definitely running to say a word about me.
Mm.
That's blur. Because I would assume, you feel me, it's a couple Bethany's and some Gerardines and stuff like that.
It's definitely it's a little bit of everything out there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just one. One
Oh
type.
no.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could find you got some options once you get out there.
How do we get the CDL again?
Oh, ain't nothing to it. It ain't hard. You know, little school thing. They even find you a job. You go to school.
You gotta learn how to like fix it if you break down.
Oh no. That's actually why I'm here right now. I'm supposed to be at work. I'm actually supposed to be like in North Mississippi right now. But when I got to my truck today, it wouldn't start. I went into the to Penske, told the little guy, hey man, truck won't start. You know, y'all need to come see what's going on. He went out there, he messed with it for a while. He's trying to explain to me why it won't start. I was like, let me explain something to you before you go into detail. I drive the truck. That's all I do. Whatever you're about to explain to me, I'm either not going to understand or I'm going to immediately forget. So don't even waste your time trying to explain it to me. Call me when it's fixed.
Right.
That's all the conversation we need to have. Call me when it's fixed and I can go to work. Other than that, I'm going home. And I got back in my car and went home.
I be seeing niggas on the side of the road with their hoods open and they be trying to work on the shit. I'm thinking like, oh, you must got learn how to do a couple things. You feel me? So if you break down on the side of the road, you gotta do something and get back on the road. Like,
Nah, no. So okay, if you see a truck driver under his hood, that means he owned that truck.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
he's trying to not have to call somebody that he's gonna have to pay
Mm-hmm.
because it's his truck. I work for a company. If something going wrong with my truck, I call the 800 number and just tell them, hey, the truck won't start. Hey, I got a flat. Hey, my lights won't come on. You know, whatever it is. I call them, tell them what it is. They ask me where I am. Like, okay, give us 10 minutes, we'll call you back. They call me back. All right, we found somebody that's near your location. They said they should be to you within an hour. That's it. That's all I do. And so like with today, because I hadn't even left yet, so the truck was still, my truck is parked at a Penske. That's not too far from me. So when I got there and the truck wouldn't start, I just went in Penske. Hey, the truck won't start. And then I got my car and came home. So yeah, I don't know the first thing about fixing a truck.
that sounds like the way to go for me.
Yeah.
Like I probably could, but it's like I don't feel like a truck is probably way more difficult than a car.
Right.
Yes.
I ain't trying to get
It's
up
way
under
more
that hood.
involved. Yeah, it's way more involved. The biggest thing is just that there's way more electronics wise because you got, 5 times the amount of lights that you have on a car and, all kind of different things, and it's just more of everything. Like I said, my truck has 3 batteries in it, and I don't even have nothing else. It's 3 batteries just to literally run my truck and the lights for my truck and my onboard computer. That's it. I don't have a sleeper, so I don't have a TV and the microwave, and I don't even have any of that in my truck, and it still run off 3 batteries. So it's just a lot of electrical stuff and all that, and I have no interest in learning how to do any of that. Like I told the little dude, I drive. That's it. That's all I do. I drive the truck. Y'all take care of all the other stuff.
And you gotta think too, a lot of them hillbillies, they been doing the truck since they was 5 years old. So for them, they're like, oh no, this is a passion project.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, depending upon where you are, you out there with some of them country boys, they've been working on tractors and trucks and all that since they was kids. So to them, this is nothing. I, however, am from the city.
Right.
And I don't do all of that.
Right. And they
I'm at the point where now I don't even change my own oil in my car. I say that to somebody else. So I definitely ain't doing nothing to the truck.
Facts, because I ain't no way I'll be able to do any of that. Like I know how to do it. That don't mean I need to do it. They paying y'all to fix the stuff.
There you go.
So I don't feel no type of way when you signed up for the job to fix it. This is helping you. Now you got something to do during your shift.
Now you getting paid for a reason.
There you go. Like, hey, if I wasn't calling y'all and you ain't had nothing to do, eventually they will fire you. So I'm helping you keep your job by giving you something to do. Now I'm gonna go sit in my car and turn the air conditioner on because it was like 92 out there today. So while you up under this truck, I'm gonna be sitting in my car parked over here. And if you need me, you just come holler at me. I'm about to sit in the air and let you do your thing.
About an hour and 40 minutes almost in. I think it's safe now. The question that I had, you feel me? Because I was watching TV and I realized, like, yo, the Cosby Show never went off. Like, throughout your trial and everything, like, they still was playing the Cosby Show, right? So if he did what he did, and they was playing the Cosby Show this whole time, and it never no hiatus, when is it going to be safe for me to throw on Seems Like You Ready?
It ain't.
Hey, Zell, all I can tell you is to get on Tidal, bruh. Because on Apple, they can see what you playing. Get on Tidal. You ain't got to worry about it.
Like, I ain't never going to be able to listen to Half on the Baby again.
So here's my opinion on that. The difference between the two is, for whatever reason, well, I take that back. I think there is a reason. I think because so many people grew up with Bill Cosby, and he had the whole America's Dad, thing and all of that kind of stuff. There are enough people who have done zero research. They haven't looked into any of the information. They haven't looked into any of the documentaries and all these things that have been done, that have convinced themselves that for some reason there is some grand conspiracy against Bill Cosby. And so they in turn then make it safe in certain corners for you to still be supportive of him. Now, I have seen a number of things. As a matter of fact, it was maybe end of last year, beginning of this year. They did a whole, I think it was on Showtime. They did a whole documentary, it was like 4 or 5 parts on, I think it was called We Need to Talk About Cosby.
Yeah.
That nigga was a monster. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Based on the things, the people that were interviewed, and it wasn't even just the women, who accused him, like even some of the other who was kind of observers and, or people in Hollywood who was hearing these stories and all those kind of things. Even if 25% of what they said was true, he's terrible. R. Kelly, on the other hand, everybody saw the tape. Everybody knows, everybody saw when I think it was Vibe found the Aaliyah marriage certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did, when whoever it was, I don't remember who did the R. Kelly thing, like, and then everybody saw that. That it's like there was never that, oh, it's a conspiracy against R. Kelly. That never came out because everybody saw all of it. A lot of that stuff with Bill Cosby, you talking about stuff that happened in like the 70s, or 60s and 70s, into the 80s. It wasn't quite as, by the time R. Kelly came around, let's say everybody had phones, we had the internet, like I say, people was passing that tape around. That tape was like the damn old dog tape for minutes. Like that shit got around good.
That shit went platinum.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's the difference between them two. There are very few people out there who are going to say R. Kelly was set up.
Right.
It's still a lot of people out there that think that the Bill Cosby stuff ain't true. Yeah.
And like you just brought up one thing that I did forget about with R. Kelly was that whole marriage to Aaliyah thing.
Yeah. So you got a history of liking them young.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And of all the things, it seems kind of in America, you can get away with a lot. You can't touch kids. Nobody's letting you come back from I touch kids.
Nah.
You could come back from beating up women. Clearly, with the Bill Cosby thing, with a certain group, you can come back from drugging women. You can come back from a lot of stuff. Once the word come out,
killing
that
dogs,
you can touch kids,
yeah,
ain't no coming back.
No,
Jared's still in jail.
Making sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't hear about nobody when you get accused of doing anything with kids. You don't get a redemption story from that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can't.
So, as much as even, I love me some some of R. Kelly music back in the day. But yeah, there's no comeback for R. Kelly.
Damn, Robert.
I mean, listen, if you're gonna listen to any of that, Jill, hide it. Or not. You grown man, do what you want with it. But all I'm gonna say is, what I mean, it's a pastor from y'all city that's wilding out here.
Man, which one you talking about?
I can't say no names, but you feel
You
me?
want me to say it?
You about to say it? You go ahead and say it if you want.
I don't care. I don't rock with homeboy.
Nobody does it. I don't think.
You talking about Jamal Bryant?
Look. He out here moving like Kales.
Yeah. What? Man, what?
Yeah, he out here moving with them young girls, bruh.
I know he had to leave. I know he had to leave from up here because he had a whole family, and then he had something on the side, and it came out.
It's a given with most pastors and deacons, bro.
I think he had a baby on the side, and that came out, and he had to move from here down to Atlanta or something. But some of his faithful followed him down there. You feel me?
Oh, that's why Mason went to Atlanta too.
But yeah, the way he looked make Atlanta seem like the perfect spot for him.
All
But
right.
Lightning brother,
You ain't right, because a lot of them nasty people move to Atlanta, boy.
but
That's the scammer capital.
he in your state now, or you just made down in the south moving crazy?
No, Atlanta. Motherfuckers in Atlanta, all the scammers, the greatest scammers of all time, they be having Olympics out in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, homeboy. You said he moved. He down there, like you saying he down in the south or here in your state now, moving crazy.
No, he in Atlanta moving crazy, but I thought he was
Oh,
still up there. I thought he was in Baltimore still.
nah, he like what he said. Ex Mace. He ran to Atlanta. He got he had to skedaddle from up here from his church up here. Oh, that nigga church had an ATM in it. ATMs in it. Like
Oh yeah.
that's some of the wildest shit I ever heard. When I found that out, like, yo, your church got ATMs in it. Like, not only is you gonna be like, all right, you ain't got no money on you, go get that. You feel me? But I'm going to
There you
charge
go.
you to go get that.
Like, hey, don't tell me you ain't have to. You forgot to go to ATM to get your offering. That's all right. We got one. Go out
In
and
the
buy the
lobby.
We got
In the
you. We got
lobby.
you. It's $250,
And
but you know it
yeah,
is what it is.
it's a fee on that, but go ahead and get that. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's worse than this other church I seen. Like, and I'm pretty sure they ain't mean to do it. It was a small little church, but like, you know how like they got the little signs outside the church, the little billboards or whatever. Not a
Yeah.
billboard, but like it's just a little sign. They put the letters up and the spell shit out.
Yeah.
I guess they ran out of S's. They put dollar signs up for the S's.
Hey, they let you know when you pull up.
Right.
You know what time it is when you pull up. When you pull up, make sure you got it right.
I think some churches taking Cash App now.
A lot of them do.
Yeah. See, I thought I was tripping. I heard about that.
Yeah, man.
That's
I
crazy.
know a lot of them, especially especially once everything kind of got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so people couldn't come in. So hey, hit a Cash App, handle your business.
$ Bethany on the side, on the rock, hashtag by the church on the wayside. Like, yo, it's a long Cash App user tag.
But like,
And so, and I'll say this. So there is. This is me. I don't see an issue with, because I mean the bottom line is, excuse me, a church is a business just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? As far as like they got bills, just like everybody else got bills. You know, the lights got to stay on, the water got to run. You know, if they have any kind of staff or whatever, those people are doing those things. You know, they got to. Everybody got to get their money. The problem becomes when that becomes the driving force. Like if you more about the money than the people, now you got a problem. So like you say, you got an ATM that you charging a fee for people to get money. You're going too far.
Yeah.
You're going too far. For me, you know what I'm saying? Yes, you know you gotta whatever, you know, your tithe, your offering, all those things. Yeah, the church needs those things. Now, you know, some of these, you know, mega churches, you got 10,000 people, whatever. I mean, if I don't pay mine this week, it ain't gonna really hurt you. But
that's the thing.
you know, I understand that the church gotta get theirs. You know, they need their money to operate. But again, it's a lot of those places where that has become the focus instead of the people and the word. That's when I have a problem.
Man, as Banks say, fuck it, we here. If you hear a church, like, all right, just think about this, you feel me? You going to a church called Empowerment Temple. You think that's a small church or you think it's a big church?
No, I'm expecting, and when they have like those generic-y, you know, positive word names,
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting, it's 5,000 people up in
That nigga was running a big ass church. You feel me?
there. Yeah.
So I know it was multiple ATMs in there. And then he got ran from here, and I know he went down there to another big church. Like, you can't tell me that nigga done went down there and just went to a small church and tried to work his way back, try to get his name back. You feel me?
Nah, nah. But it gets to the point when it's crazy enough that a lot of them, those dudes are celebrities in that world, and that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people are coming to see you to say that they saw you, like they don't care what you're talking about, they don't care what you're teaching, what your message is or whatever. It's just, oh, I went to go see so and so. I got a problem. You
Mm-hmm.
trip at that point. And so so I grew up in the church. My dad is a pastor of a small church. I just like I've been to because I've lived other places or whatever, and I've gone to some of these big churches and to visit or whatever. I could never, and again, this is just whoever may be listening or listens at some point or whatever. I'm speaking just for me. I could not go to. I would never feel comfortable going to no church that got 5,000-10,000 people going to it because you don't know nobody. If I have a problem, I can't go to the pastor because there's 10,000 people that go there.
Right.
I'm gonna go to like somebody who's 9 people under the pastor and hope he might get my message. But it's like at that point it's the difference between when you're in school. If you're in a classroom and there's 10 people in your class, so now if I have a problem, I can go directly to the teacher. The teacher knows me. The teacher can explain it to me the way that I'm going to get it because you know me well enough to understand that teaching it, you may have to teach it to me one way and teach it to somebody else another way. But it's like it's a small enough group to where you can actually know everybody in there. As compared to like when I went to college and I had some of these lecture classes that had 300 people in an auditorium. Well, that teacher don't know me. I'm a number.
Right.
And the same thing with with those churches. If you got 5,000-10,000 people at a church, don't nobody that know you. You just a number. You just somebody who they hope and pay their tithes and they offering. That's
I'm
it.
about to say somebody who they count envelope. You feel me? They
That's
just
it.
try to make sure your envelope
Yeah,
is
that's
there.
it. You an envelope that comes in once a week.
But them small churches is where you be getting that word and feel like that nigga talking to you. You feel me?
Cause he know you. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
like
know what you. He
he
know
up
you.
there he up there
He know what you
preaching.
doing.
Yeah, it feel like he's talking straight to you with his word for
Yeah,
the week. You feel me?
yeah, yeah. So that's again, I'm just speaking for me. I know there's other people out there who they love going to the church in the form of basketball arena or some
Mm-hmm.
giant stadium or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if that works for you, by all means, do what you got to do. But for me personally, I just wouldn't feel comfortable in a situation like
I feel you. But the reason why I even hit you up to come on here because earlier we was talking about the Sasha Naomi situation. You feel me? And we was just saying like, don't nobody really know what was going on, basically.
that. No.
And yeah, we just wanted to was trying to see what you think about that situation.
So, like you said, ultimately, don't none of us really know. Everybody's speculating now. I am fortunate enough to where, I don't know nobody that works for WWE, but it's one of them like I know some people that know some people that know some people, kind of thing. So even then, even with what I hear, it's still third hand. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Mm-hmm.
just from all of my years of watching wrestling and kind of knowing how things work, typically work anyway. And when we saying all about knowing people, ultimately I heard the same thing everybody else heard. I heard it like a day early, basically. But the story that is kind of out, from all I have been told, we have heard the legitimate story as to what happened, as far as the whole them, wanting to do the 6-pack challenge thing, them not want to do it and trying to get them to concentrate on the tag team. Da, 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 da. From what I've heard, that is the legitimate how everything happened. So to then, like I said, as far as just all of the years of me watching this and kind of seeing how things typically move, what I think is happening, and obviously I could be wrong. This is just me guessing like anybody else. I think this started off to use some wrestling language. I think this started off as a shoot, and now they are working the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, like I said, everything we heard from the beginning is legitimate, and the walkout was legitimate. All of that was real. I also think that once everybody calmed down and kind of the cooler heads situation, I think they realized, okay, we can't just bring y'all back in and act like none of this happened,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody knows it happened. So it's like, now, how can we spin this into a story? So it's a different situation, but it's an example of what I mean by this. This is, in a lot of ways, this is the Edge Matt Hardy leader
Mm-hmm.
situation. When all that went down and it got out, and everybody knew Matt and Lita was together, she cheated on him with Edge.
Shot himself
They
into
sent Matt away, and then they realized, okay, we can turn this into storyline, even though it's real life. We can turn this into storyline. So then, when they brought Matt back, they ran with it and made it full on that they turned real life into the story. And I think the same thing is ultimately what's going to happen here, is that they're going to take this real life story, because all the things they're doing, like everybody's talked about, this is never how they handle things.
Mm-hmm.
People that walked out before, people that got suspended, people that got fired, people that got all of that. They have never come on live TV and said, so and so walked out and we suspended them indefinitely, and they gave the full story on TV. They don't do that. Even when
quick.
Austin walked out and they let Rock come out there and bury him on the mic and all that, they ain't come out and have commentary, give you the full story, everything. Well, he didn't want to lose the Brock and da. Like, they didn't do all that. They just said he left, he's suspended. They let Rock come out there and cut the promo on him, and they buried him as far as in that way, and then they kept it moving. But for them to come out, and now they've done it 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
because they did it last Monday, they did it on SmackDown, they did it tonight. They
Oh,
brought it
really?
up on commentary. Yeah,
Okay.
they
Damn.
Yes,
brought
it
it up
worked.
again tonight on commentary.
Yeah.
They pulled all of their merch from off the WWE shop, and like, it's people. Basically, if you don't work for AEW or Impact right now, your merch is still on that shop.
Mm-hmm.
But they pull, as a matter of fact, if you go in the WWE shop and type in either one of their names, it tell you that nothing comes back. Like, it's as if they don't exist at all. So when you start putting those little, like, they keep bringing it up on commentary, they keep, trying to push it to keep it on everybody's mind. We all know that what Vince loves to sweep stuff under the rug. That's his first move. If it goes bad for him, he ready to move on. He gonna address it, and then it's like, we got to keep the show going. But for them to keep bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing, like I said, every time they've been on TV since this happened, they've been brought up. And for them to pull everything off the shop, and they took Sasha off the intro, and all of this kind of stuff. the fact that they have already announced, oh, they left the belts, so they've been stripped of the belts. We're going to have a tournament in the future. Well, you ain't even got no women's tag teams. It's like 3 women's tag teams. How you gonna have a tournament? So I think all of these things are just setups for when they do return. And I wish I could remember who pointed this out to me initially. Person, whoever you are, you hear this. I'm sorry that I don't remember your name, so I can't give you credit. But at the whatever year it was, Hell in a Cell, they basically had done a similar thing. This is when Miz and R-Truth were tag team, and they fired Miz and R-Truth, quote unquote, fired Miz and R-Truth, and they had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This was Del Rio was the champ, and Del Rio had the cell match. The match ends. They let the cell up. Cena came out and attacked Del Rio, and then like Miz and Truth like came out of the crowd. They had started lifting up the cell, had come like halfway up. They got in, and the cell came back down, and Miz and Truth beat up Cena, beat up Del Rio. Like it was a whole thing. They had all the people come out of the bag trying to get the cage open, but the cage was locked. They were actually here. They were in New Orleans, and it finally ended with the NOPD coming out with bolt cutters, cutting the chain to get the door open, and they quote unquote arrested Miz and Truth. And like the show ended with them leading them down in handcuffs, leading them out of the arena. I think we're kind of going in a similar direction. Like I think at some point they're gonna show up, they're gonna come through the crowd. You know, whoever does become the tag team champions, if they take it to that far, they'll come out and attack them. And ultimately, when this is all said and done, Sasha and Naomi is gonna get their way, I think, because this is all going to finally actually give attention to that women's tag belt, which is why this all happened, because that was what they wanted and they wanted it.
Thanks.
I think that something's going to happen along the lines of they're going to have this tournament or whatever. I think one of these teams is going to have to drop out the tournament because they got beat up in the back, and then the team that's going to come out like might be the finals, and the team that's going to come out to replace them is going to be Sasha and Naomi, and they're going to win the titles back.
I can see that.
But
yeah.
Oh man, I don't forgot what I was about to say before that.
So right quick, it was Hell in a Cell 2011. So if anybody wanna, you don't remember what, it's a long time ago. Because I didn't remember this. Like I said, somebody else brought this to my attention. I just can't remember who it was. Excuse me. But if you get a chance to, you can go back and pull up Hell in a Cell 2011. And it, like I said, that's how the show ended. The show ended with the Del Rio and somebody, because I don't think he was actually wrestling Cena. I think he might have been wrestling somebody else. Mm-hmm. And when the match ended and the cage started coming out, that's when Cena came out and attacked Del Rio. And then Miz and Truth came out and attacked both of them, and they got them to lower the cage back down. So then everybody was stuck outside, and they were inside doing the beat down on Cena and Del Rio. So, like I said, it was 2011 Hell in a Cell. It was in New Orleans.
The thing I was going to say was they not about to let Sasha go to AEW. You feel me?
No.
They don't put too much into her, and they're not about to let Naomi go because not only that she the Usos' wife, but like Naomi is one of the top women in the division because, like, if you think about it, like she's not only she a top worker, but in the Royal Rumble, you feel me? In the men's Royal Rumble, which they've been having for so many years, they got the Kofi spot where you nigga get thrown out and his feet don't touch the ground. and he get back in the ring.
Mm.
And the women's side, since they made the women's Royal Rumble, that's the Naomi spot. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like she too integral in that division, that women's division. Even though you might not see her every week fighting for the championship or something, but when she come out there and when she in a match, you know, it's important. So they're not just gonna let neither one of them go.
And I mean, you got to think. I would say right now, definitely of the women, they are the two most popular women's wrestlers probably in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you could just no, AEW don't have that kind of reach. I was about to say, you know, you could maybe put Jade in that, but AEW don't have the reach of WWE, so she's not on their level. They are the two most popular crossover women's wrestlers in the world right now. This is the peak. So the two things that they have going for them is Sasha Banks is at her absolute peak as far as her, you know, Q rating, as they call her like she is more popular and known now between everything she's doing with wrestling and the Mandalorian and all those kind of things. Like, I mean, she has a Star Wars action figure. Like, she's at her level. Naomi is married to a member of the most powerful family not named McMahon in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They can't take a chance on losing either one of them.
Right.
And they can't mess over either one of them. Because you can't lose Sasha to another like you already, you know, the clock is on her probably anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, she ain't gonna start getting less roles when it comes to Hollywood. You know, they've been saying for years that she was the quote unquote female Rock. So you know you only have her for so long. You got to try to squeeze as much money out of that as you can. And you can't piss Naomi off because you don't know, like, you don't want to start them dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a whole family of people who are integral to every one of your shows. Roman and the Usos have all the majors to have the two heavyweight championships and both tag team championships. And Baby Uso is one of your top baby faces on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't piss the family off. You can't lose Sasha.
The thing about Sasha though is like, you know, when ever since The Rock, every wrestler that tried to go into Hollywood or whatever, WWE want to get their cut of what they doing in Hollywood. Sasha went into the Mandalorian under her real name instead of under Sasha Banks. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're getting a cut of that.
I don't think they are, and because we would just I don't know if you remember, we were having this conversation the other day when they were talking about what was WWE's best movie that they had them produced or whatever, and people were naming all the different movies or whatever, and I was like, now the answer is probably The Rundown, because I don't think most people don't realize until maybe Faster, or maybe even Fast and Furious, the first, whichever one he was in. Every movie that you saw that The Rock was in, that he was billed as either just The Rock or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, WWE co-produced that movie and they got a cut off of it.
Either it was The
Like
Rock or
the first time you
The
saw
Rock Dwayne Johnson or
yeah,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
yeah. If The Rock, if he got anywhere in that billing, the name The Rock was involved, then WWE co-produced that movie and they got a cut off of it. It wasn't until you start seeing him just as Dwayne Johnson that WWE stopped getting money. So his first like maybe 5 or 6 movies, WWE had a part in that, which is why they let him be billed as The Rock or Dwayne The Rock Johnson or whatever. That was why that name was in it. because that technically falls under WWE films. Either they outright produced it or they co-produced it with somebody else.
That makes
So like you
sense.
said, but with Sasha, when she did the Mandalorian, it wasn't Mercedes Sasha Banks on it was just Mercedes.
Hmm.
So because of that, I don't think the WWE has any involvement in that. Plus, I mean, that's Star Wars. They don't need WWE.
Right.
They got more money than Vince. They don't need him. So yeah, I think did that on her own. I'm sure they gave her permission to do it. But I mean, which of course they would, because they looking at, well, this is just more exposure, for us. Because even though she's listed under her name, people, when you go and look her up, if you go on Google and put in Mercedes Varnado, it's gonna pop back to you Sasha Banks. So I mean, they knew that the look was gonna still come back to them some kind of way. But yeah, I'm almost positive that they had no involvement in that for her outside of them giving her permission to do
Yeah, that makes sense because I remember when The Rock first started doing movies, he was saying that he was going to start off as being billed as The Rock, and then he was going to try to make the transition to where as though it was just Dwayne Johnson,
it.
whether it
Yeah,
was The Rock Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, until it was just straight Dwayne Johnson. You feel me? And back then, I just figured he just wanted to just get rid of the name so you just know it's him. But now it makes sense because as long as The Rock is in there, he got kicked back up. You know?
yeah, yeah. They was gonna get their cut anytime. And that's with any movie or anything that you see any of those wrestlers do, and they use whatever their wrestling name is, WWE is getting a cut off of that. So, like you said, when you see The Rock, I mean, most of them now, the only one I don't know about that, and well, back then I'm sure it was with Stone Cold. Like he wasn't, he would do stuff. He was listed as Steve Austin.
Mm.
I'm sure they got something out of that. I'm
They
sure
might have.
that WWE got something out of that because that ain't his name. His name is, I think, Steve Williams.
Yeah,
So if he's listed as
but
Steve Austin, they paid WWE something for use of that name because they own the name.
I don't know. Maybe they might have because when he switched over to WWE, they might have copyrighted Steve Austin. But
Yeah,
he definitely was Steve Austin before WWE because he was stunning Steve Austin when he was.
yeah. But if you remember, so he was stunning Steve Austin in WWC. When he first came to WWE, he was just the ringmaster
Mm-hmm.
with no name. He was just the ringmaster.
Then he
And
was the
then
ringmaster.
he eventually, once they dropped that and he went through his change, like, when they did the, they sent him all the different names and all of that for him to kind of pick from. And, everybody, that's the whole running story. Everybody made fun of all the different crazy names they gave him. And then he finally came up with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I'm almost positive, because I mean, by that time, they were pretty full in on changing people's names so that they could own the names. So I think that may be why you went through that stretch of him just being just the ringmaster,
He was the
as
ringmaster
they
Steve Austin
negotiated.
for a second.
Yeah, them getting that Steve Austin name, and then he got to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's why, people complain now about with the name changes and all of those things. Um, Yeah, they pick and choose on who gets to keep their name and all that. A lot of that has to do with, so a lot of, and as we all know, and I'm sure many people that are listening to this know, who kind of, even if you don't fully move into the kind of internet wrestling circles, even if you just kind of know a little bit, or outsidely involved, people make such a big deal about every wrestler. If you go on the internet, every wrestler who has ever wrestled in any company is the most important, most famous, most this, most that wrestler in the world. Excuse me. But there's a reason that AJ Styles got to keep being AJ Styles and Walter is now Gunther. Because AJ Styles in America, that was a name that you kept. And you just, whatever deal you had to work out with him, because you didn't want to lose that name, because he was that here. Like there were even me who didn't watch TNA and all those things, I knew who AJ Styles was. I had heard that name and heard about him.
Right.
Right.
If you go on the internet, everybody has known Walter for 20 years and have tapes of him in Austria and all that foolishness. But to the casual person here, and I think that's another thing that a lot of the people on the internet, the Twitter wrestler mob don't realize. Most people don't know who Walter was, and most people also don't watch NXT. So yeah, he was Walter in NXT, but you know what? Ain't a lot of people watching NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So when he made the move up, they decided to change his name. Well, guess what? They changed his name because they own Gunther.
And they kind of doing him a
Walter.
favor. Yeah, they kind of doing him a favor because
yeah.
Now instead of them just saying, "All right, your name's gonna be Walter, but we gonna own that," they're gonna say, "All right, no, you keep Walter. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna change your name, and if we release you and you got to go back to the Indies, or you gotta go to AEW, or you gotta go somewhere else, you can take Walter."
And that's the point that a lot of people miss. If they own that name and they release you, or you decide you don't want to be there, or whatever the case may be, guess what? Ember Moon works for WWE. Now you ain't there no more. You go back to your indie name or whatever, or go your real name. Come up with a new name. Do whatever you want to do. But Ember Moon works for WWE. Ruby Riott works for WWE. Now you go be Ruby Soho.
Aleister Black
works for WWE. So like you said, with the Walter thing, now I personally, because I think they see big things in him. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to work, and I think he is good enough to make it work. So at this point, honestly, if he left, I think it would be more his decision on not wanting to be in the United States and wanting to go back home. But like you said, regardless of what it is, if he decides he want to leave, or if they decide to release him, the day they let him go, he's Walter, and he takes bookings as Walter.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to go back to that name.
Not
instead of trying to come up with something new that, only, 10 people have heard of. I had never heard of no Moxley. I know there are a bunch of people who did. I'm sure they may be comments to this thing. Oh, you didn't know who Moxley was? Because I don't watch independent wrestling. I've seen independent wrestling once, and that was in Dallas, and that was only because everybody else wanted to go, and so I went with them. I don't watch independent wrestling.
And
I don't watch. I barely watch WWE.
Right.
But I say, you know it's not like you're the only person that felt that subscribed to that,
Yeah, So, like you said, that's a very good point you brought up. Them giving him that new name, that's actually a good deal for him, because they are letting him keep ownership of Walter. And whenever the time comes that he's either ready to leave or they are ready to get rid of him, the moment he steps out of that office, he can go back to being Walter. He don't have to be Moxley. He don't have to be Brian Danielson. He don't have to be Ruby Soho. He don't have to be whatever all these other people who had to either go back to their independent names, go to their real names, whatever the case may be. The name that he got famous for, he still owns and will get to continue to use when he leaves WWE.
Facts.
Uh, other than that, I think I'm out of topics. Anybody else got something they wanna bring up?
I think that's it on my end, man. I'm glad Unc Rock was here, but otherwise than
Right.
that, nah. I think the only thing I can really say is what me and Rock talked about on the phone prior to this. So this is beautiful how it worked out because me and him was on the phone for 2 hours prior to the recording. I think you gotta let you
But
gotta
I
let
tell
things
you,
play out.
I'd have been talking to Banks for like 4 straight hours because this is over 2 hours. Man, it was on the phone 2 hours before y'all got started.
And it's crazy to think about that too. I'm like, yeah, it's legit 4.5 hours. I've been talking to this man, which is perfect. I'm just waiting for him to get ready to do his podcast because that's coming soon for sure. But
We
you know,
need
Amen.
man,
that.
no, you got to.
Nah,
Even if it's behind the paywall,
I'm
I'm gonna
about to
talk
say
to you.
even if it's just every once in a while you do a run in on somebody's shit, you feel me, and
That
you
that
pause, but you
yeah, that
come
I
in
can do.
and pause and you just like even if it's once a month, you come in on somebody else. Like if you on a Patreon or you come in here, you feel me, once a month, talk for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
The
See,
people need that.
I've said this before. Y'all know, especially y'all two know. If y'all call me for anything, whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna do. Either one of
Yeah,
y'all hit me up. It don't matter what's going on. Short of me actually being at work or working,
yeah,
you feel what I'm
yeah.
saying? If
Mm-hmm.
y'all hit me up, I'm gonna be there. But as far as me actually doing, I'm not a quarterback. I'm not the point guard. I can I'm in the corner. When you throw it to me, I'm gonna hit the jumper, but I can't bring the ball up. I can't initiate offense. I can come down, I can set some picks, I can sit in the corner and I'll wait for the ball. So, when it comes to like I say, you hit me tonight, hey, what you doing? I'm chilling. You wanna jump on? Give me 5 minutes, let me get set up.
Facts.
Times Banks hit me up. Hey man, what you doing Sunday? Me and Eve recording want you to come on. Bet. Let me know what time you want me to be there. I'll be there. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
I got going on, I'll make it work. And
Mm-hmm.
and Banks know, like to the point where I wasn't home, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But I wasn't home, and when
I
he
was
called me,
I watched it. I
yeah,
watched that one.
I was on.
Yeah.
So that I can do. Is I don't even mind if it is anything done regularly. I just don't have it in me. It's like, me and Banks were talking earlier. You get to a certain point in your life where you have to know yourself and you got to know your limitations. Now, me and him was talking about a whole different subject, but the same principle applies.
Right.
You got to
Mm-hmm.
know who you are. You got to know your limitations. I know that I can't do what you do. I can't sit on here and drive the conversation and come up with these topics and ask the questions and do to this and do to that. I can rock what you think about such and such. I can go as long as you want me to talk. I can talk. But as far as me actually being the one to bring it all together, that just ain't who I am. So, doing the run ins on occasion, I'm cool with that. Even if it gets to the point where somebody wants me to do a regular you know, scheduled kind of thing, once a week, once a month, once a whatever, I can do that. But as far as it being this is a my thing, and I have to be the one to come up with the things and schedule the this and to do that ain't me.
Understandable.
But I love doing stuff like this with y'all. You know, I love jumping on here with y'all. And, you know, man, like Bane said, man, he'll talk for like 2 hours early. And one of the things we talked about is, now I done your show. I done Black and Ops Table a few times. I done
BRP.
BRP. And I doubt if I have, between all of them shows and all the hours, I doubt if I've talked about wrestling more than 20 minutes.
Facts.
We talking about everything outside of wrestling on all of these various wrestling shows. And even here, I come on the alcohol show and we ain't talk about alcohol. I just come on here to talk about whatever comes up.
Exactly.
This is on an alcohol platform, but I mean, when me and Banks get together, it ain't even about alcohol. We just talk about everything. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, what brought us all together was wrestling.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is the conversation me and him just had.
Exactly.
That we all came together about wrestling, and unless wrestling is actively on the television at the time we talking, we don't ever talk about wrestling. Me and Banks have never had a wrestling conversation ever. We've been talking to each other. Banks been having my phone number for 2 years. We have never talked about wrestling.
Same thing with Eve. We barely talk about wrestling.
Yeah. Like
with
I said,
to a certain extent, but everybody else, nah.
Yeah, right. That's how I feel about like with Fam or Math, like to a certain extent, but otherwise, like I got niggas' numbers, but we're not really talking about wrestling. Like if I hit Fam up, it's like, hey yo, when can I come drop these beers off to you? You feel me? Or I talk to Math like, yo, just holler at nigga, yo, you good? You feel me? Peace. What's good with you? You good? Cool. You feel me? Like niggas might
next time you talk to Matt, and I'm saying this on the show so he can hear it, and you can call him and tell him about it. Tell him we ain't been to Dallas in almost 2 months. I still ain't received a cup, nothing.
I think the fact that he just got Black Pearl back, and
yeah, you know, I just be messing with him because he told me like when we got to Dallas, that was one of the first things he told me. Like once me and him started talking, whatever, he gave me the rundown of everything that happened. He was like, man, you know, I was supposed to bring it to you, but I ain't, you know, everything was in the car, you know, I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna mail it to you. And like I said, that was in April. It's almost June.
That nigga hit me.
Mail ain't came yet.
I told that nigga, man. Nah, I had got out with him before the Dallas trip and shit. I was like, yo, let me know when I can come bring these cups to you. You feel me? He was like, cool. He hit me. I had to go to work and shit. He was like, yeah, I'm about to be down here at the cigar lounge with my family and shit. I was like, cool. I'm gonna come meet you. Had to go to work. You feel me? Before I go to work, grab a bottle to take down there to him. We sitting down at the cigar lounge, drinking out the bottle. They already had a cup like 4 or 5. Nah, it was probably more than 4 or 5. It might have been like 7 bottles they had down there. You feel me? They down there already drinking and smoking the cigars. I come down there with the bottle, drop him off the cups and sit down there. He keeps telling me is, hey yo, you gotta go to work. Don't miss work. You feel me? I'm cool. We sit down there. I have a couple drinks and shit. You feel me? I'm like, all right, I'm about to leave. He like, what? You about to leave? You sorry motherfucker.
I just texted right now too. I said, hey, Rock said when you gonna send the work, the cups or whatever you supposed to send them.
He gonna text you back in the morning like
3 a.m.
Peace.
No, he
gonna text me cussing me. Yeah.
He'll never say that.
I don't appreciate how you talk to me sometimes.
Right.
I had to tell him about this stuff. Then Rock, you know I love you. You know I love you. I was like, but you don't treat me like you love me.
Right.
The way you talk to me, I don't feel the love. You got to do better.
Right.
Nah, but you know, man, that's my man. You know, I that whole, you know, and I understand, you know, your situation, but I hate that you wasn't there in Dallas, man. It was so
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing experience to, we talked about it then. It's like to say, all of these people. So the only person who I had actually met face to face was Chris Brown. I hadn't actually met anybody else.
Shout out to Chris
We were
Brown.
supposed to meet Dre. One time, me and Chris both happened to be in Dallas, and Dre was supposed to come in and hook up with us, but I think his kids had a game or something was going on, so he wound up not being able to come. So we wound up just we FaceTime with him while me and Chris Brown was at dinner, whatever. So to go from, even though we didn't talk, and we would do the zooms on the pay per views and all those things, but to finally have that opportunity for us to all be together, be face to face, really just kind of kick it. It was an amazing experience.
Man, we gonna get it right now, LA.
Yeah.
Facts.
And
Everybody.
I mean, we got I know you got things going on already, but me and Banks and East, we doing the part 2 in September. They coming down here. I'm gonna try to keep getting in no trouble. Now, at least, you know, Eve should be straight. Banks is who I'm concerned
I
about.
ain't straight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way that the laws work down here. Things is way too relaxed.
So I'm saying I ain't
Yeah.
straight nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know how this gonna work out. Once I get Banks down here, he gonna disappear on me for 3 days.
And come back
Hey,
look unscathed.
it called me 3 days later. Yeah, I just signed the lease. I'm gonna go ahead and move down here.
All right. I'm bringing them with me. They said they've been out here since Essen Festival.
Yeah.
but
So
hey man,
yeah,
if you need me,
but
you gonna holler at me.
I'm hoping more people. I'm hoping more of the crew will come down here. Kind of celebrate with us for Eve's birthday. But
Mhm.
we definitely gonna make sure that we get it all together for LA next
Yeah, I feel like they done told me. Everybody done told me next year. I kind of don't got no choice but to be there. So
That's it, bro.
year. Yeah, I
hey
mean, it
man,
was like I said, it was everything was dope. Um, I hate that I wound up missing Wale Mania. By the time I got there, it was ending. Everybody was coming out when I pulled up. But I mean, even from that point, like after that was over, we all went out. We got some food. We kind of kicked it that night, and from that point on, I mean, pretty much the only time that the crew wasn't together was like everybody would kind of disperse to go to sleep, and as soon as we would get up the next day, everybody would get back together, and we just kind of rolled through it for that whole weekend. It was great. Wasn't no foolishness. Not that I expected any, because like I said, even though now I know most of them, everybody else had kind of probably met some. Like everybody had met some people, but I don't know if anybody had met everybody. So that was the first
right,
time we were all kind of in one spot together, and it was cool as could be.
right. But shit, we already at like 2.5 hours. Think it's time we end this for the night.
For sure.
For sure. You already know it's beautiful to be here as usual.
Everybody want to drop their socials? You can go ahead first, Rock.
Uh, Sit on the screen, 504 Rock the Icon, uh, Twitter, IG, whatever. You're welcome to follow me. I don't really be doing much. I mean, you catch me commenting on other people's stuff on Twitter. I'm not really a content generator.
Right.
I'm a content responder. Sometimes that goes left, and when it goes left, I just walk away because I don't have time to argue with people. I have better things to do in my life. But again, you're welcome to follow me. You see some pictures of my son. That's mainly what my Instagram is. Don't look at who I follow. That ain't your business. Uh,
Facts.
and that's it.
Hey man. As usual, y'all can follow me at I am not Banks. I think that's weird because like Rock said, I don't really be posting nothing at all. I promote stuff. I don't be talking about nothing. You ain't gonna get no personal business out of me ever. So I would recommend that you follow at the BVD Pod on Twitter, Banks versus Davis on YouTube. We trying to get up to 200 subscribers by June 21st. But more importantly, Body More Bottles, my brother to my left. Yeah, my brother to my left, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button as well if you've been listening.
No doubt.
Y'all already at like what 191?
Yeah. So we need 9 more. We almost there. We should get that within a month.
We could get that tonight. Everybody that's listening to this right now, if you ain't
Whenever,
following, go follow. And if you are following, go tell somebody else to follow.
Thank you. And hit
whenever
that
you
like button.
listening to it, yeah, whenever you listening to this, go hit that like button. Go follow Banks versus Davis, or is the BVD on YouTube?
Banks versus Davis.
Go follow that. Hit the like button on multiple videos. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Same thing for Body More Bottles, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
All right. We'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.